The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93 Air.
Good morning, everybody.
What's today? Today's Monday morning.
Work. Oh, that's not fun.
Let's just get it over with.
Do you ever find yourself standing in one of the rooms in your house? Did you ever try to pick up a suitcase you thought was full, but it wasn't? And you go, and for just a split second, you feel really strong. When you're going down the stairs, you could swear there was one more step. Holy, my hips are in my chest.
Showtime.
This is the way Detroit Rock City would have sounded if the other half of Kiss would have taken drugs. Ace and Peter were all drugged up. If Paul and Gene would have been on drugs, Josh, this is how Detroit Rock City would have turned out.
Just like this? Well, then we wouldn't be able to play it.
Well, damn, I suppose we ought to just go ahead with it already. Monday, F me morning. Very thankful that you've tuned in to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. It'd be a damn shame and maybe even looked at as disrespectful if we didn't go ahead and say thanks right away to the folks who came out to our little river rocker boat party this past Friday night. What a hell of a deal it was. Thanks to
there it is.
Yeah, you got to be ready with the live mic when we're broadcasting.
What were we going to say now?
Oh, I was just saying, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people came out. A lot of nice people. It was a blast.
Any not so nice people?
Couple.
Any medium-ranged people?
Couple medium range, yeah.
We appreciate that.
I heard good things. Saw some photos. Saw Wapple drinking a couple of shooters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys look like you were having fun.
It was a good time.
We had way too much fun. I did not take your advice.
I
have
warned
a
you.
little bit of fun.
I warned you not to have too much fun, and you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I had way too much fun.
Josh did say in the group chat to have an appropriate amount of fun.
And it sounds like you went overboard?
Oh, I went overboard.
That's just how you do.
I didn't feel very good. I didn't feel very good the next morning either, Wapple.
Yeah.
I really didn't feel so sharp.
It was brutal.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you,
to
Ashley. I wish I could have been there. It looked like it was a good time.
Let me tell you something, Josh. The boat went this way. It went that way. We talked to one person. Next thing you know, we were talking to someone else. It was a hell of a setup.
Yeah.
But thanks to Gel for the live music, Lucky's 13 for the foods, Paddleful, how do you say the name of the company? Paddleford River Boats for the boat.
You were there in spirit, Josh.
Anytime Bail Bonds for the sponsorship, and of course to our listeners who jumped on board and made it look like we have lots and lots of friends. Yeah, we of course we would have wished that Josh would have been able to join us, but we'll get you next time. We'll bring you over to Wisconsin for the next big party.
Oh, yeah. Got to wait till... Oh, that party. Sure. That's right. There's a couple that are pretty... One's close to Wisconsin and one's in Wisconsin. Yeah, we're a month away from that.
The one that's in Wisconsin.
Yes.
Which one is close to Wisconsin?
I was thinking our 4th of July booze cruise.
Oh!
Where we can see Wisconsin.
We sure can. All right, so it was a grand effing time. Even received a text message here from a listener who wants to thank us. You don't have to thank us. This listener says, "Good morning. I've never texted in before, but wanted to say thank you for the Rock the River event last Friday. It was the first 93X event the wife and I have attended, and we now cannot wait for the next one. Also, thanks for your morning show. I'm always tuned in at work. And I think he's tuned in right now. In the barns while artificially inseminating cows. That's a message from Bovine Rectum Wrecking Crew. Jesus. He's in the barns right now, artificially inseminating cows. Dude, you think he could send us some video?
I sure hope so.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I'm out on that.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'll live vicariously through you guys, too, but that's an interesting gig. I don't know if we've heard from somebody that does something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what a nice email or a text. Thank you so much for that.
Very sweet, kind text message. Yeah, I don't know if... I think maybe you're right. I don't know if we've ever heard from someone who spends their mornings artificially. I did meet a couple of young fellows on the boat who work at a slaughterhouse, and they told me some of the ins and outs of working at a slaughterhouse.
Oh, that would be brutal.
What stood out?
The throat cutting.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard about that.
Is that machine done, or do they?
Nope.
Do they John Wick it?
Yeah, they got it like a hook, and they just.
I believe what Wapple's saying is true. If my memory serves me correct, I think they just they handle that manually. This was the word I got from two young fellas. When they approached me, they said, "Hey, we've heard you recently talking on the air about working at a slaughterhouse. That's what we do for a living." I had no memory of a prior conversation of working at a slaughterhouse, but I went along with it because, we're trying to be good hosts on the boat. And I said, "Oh, sure. I remember." I had no memory of talking about, but they told me there's like a plug to the head and then a cut of the throat, and then they kick it when it's down for a while. I don't know.
They get the whole crew to kick it.
But
taunting, all kinds of taunting, I'd imagine.
But wow. I think that's all I could come up with at the time was just wow. And I asked the two of them, I said, the first time, your first day on the job's got to be something. That's got to be something you never forget. And they said, oh, yeah, the first day is a little rough. And I said, how long does it take you to get used to it? And I think their answer was a few months. A few months.
I would think so.
It's like they have like hell month where they're like, all right, we'll see if this guy can stick it out. They just lose them one by one.
I bet they rotate through a lot of new guys.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to the new guy? What do you think happened to the new guy?
He's in the corner, obviously.
Lord have mercy.
My 4 sons, Jesus said, that guy, the inseminating artificially guy, he's got it easy. Try doing that naturally some morning. Now, that's some work, he said.
Oh, man. First thing you need is a stool, maybe a few beers. Josh, tell us if there's anything to tell since we missed you on, what the hell night were we on the boat?
Friday.
Since we missed you on Friday, because you were out at a wedding reception, any great stories from your Friday night at the wedding reception?
Well, I wouldn't say great stories. I appreciate the fact that the actual ceremony was under 10 minutes.
Oh, that's the only way to go.
Nice.
I grew up Catholic. Most of the weddings I've been to were Catholic, and it takes a little while.
It's a full mass.
Right.
Oh, man, I like the good hour and a half, hour 45 wedding ceremony.
Well, I'll tell you, you're the only one because that was huge. Everybody talked about at the wedding how great that was. Like, what a good call. And this is a very Catholic family, too. So they had like a 10-minute service. And Ashley, I texted you. I know you were busy, but they had llamas there.
Whoa! I didn't even say
Were
that.
they the bridesmaids?
No, they actually, the bridesmaid. There's a story about somebody that was a part of the wedding. The officiant, he made a How I Met Your Mother reference, a Will Ferrell reference. He made a couple other pop culture references, so that was pretty entertaining.
So this was one hip man of God.
Well, he wasn't. He was an ordained friend. Right, a friend who got ordained. That's the same thing we did. We had one of our better friends get ordained. But yeah, they had the llamas, and I've decided everything I do now, I want to be accompanied by a couple llamas, and I want them to be dressed like these ones where they had like a faux suit and faux wedding dress on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool, and I thought of you immediately, Ashley, I wish she was here. She would absolutely love this.
Do you know
awesome.
What was the connection there? Are they farmers?
I have no idea. No, not at all.
They're not a farm family?
Nope. I am not sure exactly the connection there, but they were very popular, as you can imagine.
It would have been pretty cool if one of them just got like ticked off and started acting crazy.
Did you
Stomping around?
Yeah.
There was a contest.
A contest.
They had a contest with the prize where there was a reference to a television show in the service, and whoever was the first person to pick up the reference won. And who? My brother got it.
Well, will you test us?
Well, you'd have to have watched the show. I had no idea. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
So there was a toddler there who brought the ring up, right?
And they dared having a toddler and llamas in the same room?
The toddler was great because as the officiant is holding his hand out like to get the ring, the kid didn't get it and he just kept low-fiving. And the guy's like, no, I need the ring. And the kid's like, this is awesome. This guy's just holding his hand out and I'm low-fiving him the whole time.
Cute.
But he was dressed as like a teddy bear.
The toddler.
The toddler, not the officiant.
Okay.
I thought that was
a child dressed as a teddy bear. That was the television show reference?
That was the reference, it turns out.
Anybody?
Which I didn't even know that was it.
Ted?
Yeah, does it have something to do with Ted?
The show Ted?
Yeah.
Or movie? No.
I'm out on that one.
Okay, I thought maybe Dana would get it.
A current television show.
Well, relatively current.
Relatively
I don't
current.
think it's still on anymore.
Nah, I
Does
don't
it have
know.
something to do with Paddington?
No, it was a How I Met Your Mother reference.
Never saw it.
Me neither. I guess there's a bit in there where somebody is having trouble saying ring bearer, and they keep saying ring bear.
Oh.
So I apologize if I'm slaughtering that reference, but that's how I was told.
Okay.
It was, and people are saying it was a pretty hilarious scene.
It
so.
sounds like they made an attempt to entertain you at this 10-minute ceremony.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, you got to see a show.
So you guys don't like the long hour 45, just heavy Catholic event
no.
when someone
No.
but church pews are so comfortable.
That's when you need to pregame for the wedding.
I like
You got to have a couple beers before you get in there.
Oh, I think it's more fun when they just grind you down to nothing.
It's hot in there. You're sweating.
Yeah, I like some heat.
You hope the guy in the pew in front of you pulls his phone out and starts watching a game so you can kind of watch over his shoulder a little bit.
Well, you enjoyed yourself then, huh, Cubby?
Oh, yeah, it was one of the better weddings I've been to.
Well, if you weren't going to be with us on Friday, I was hoping that you'd have a good time.
It was great. My
Because
wife,
I love you.
Oh, I love you guys.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I missed you. I wish I was on there. I got a couple texts. I was checking in just to see how it was going. Looked like it was a lot of fun.
Who were you checking in with?
With my kids. They were on the boat.
Oh, right. There was young people that you're familiar with on the boat. Yeah, I ran into them once or twice.
I have a video of your daughter doing the worm.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, she texted me and she's like, hey, people are asking me to do the worm. Should I do it? I'm like, well, go for it. Why not?
She's so cool.
I was coming down the stairs and there was a big crowd of people kind of, all watching something and cheering. I'm like, oh, wow, someone's doing the worm. Oh, that's Josh's daughter.
On the floor of the boat?
Yeah,
Yep.
she did pick a pretty bad location because it was right outside some bathrooms.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, now that I think about that, probably not the best choice.
Well, I didn't see anybody doing any 80s breakdancing moves. I feel as if I've missed out.
Yeah.
I didn't see any popping, locking, nothing.
Did you see, of course you did, Wapo, but my oldest girlfriend, she was wearing your shirt.
Yep.
The Wapple shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Your oldest girlfriend?
Oldest's.
Oh.
And I was supposed to sign. I felt so bad because she wanted me to sign the shirt, and then I was going to, and then just immediately got pulled away by some listeners, and I couldn't find her again.
Yeah, she's
I felt
bitter
so
about
bad.
that.
I know.
She's very upset.
I know she would be.
Ruined the entire night.
The whole weekend, gone.
The whole family, Wapple, has your T-shirt.
That's awesome.
We all do. And
Yeah.
I even bought one for a coworker of ours who was like, please, I really need this shirt. And then it's still sitting in my mailbox. He never picked it up. I don't know what's going on there.
I think I had to get 45 for my family and extended family.
Dude, you must have went broke.
I did.
Which is hilarious.
It
that
was
you have to
over
buy your own
$600.
t-shirt. Oh, my God.
It was like $653.
Oh, my.
It was brutal.
Did anyone else, any of the rest of the 4 or 5 of us, did you have a chance to meet a young man who calls himself your friendly neighborhood garbage man, Jesus? Did you have an opportunity to talk to him on our boat party?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I did. And he's texted in this morning to say, sorry for being the dunk guy on the boat. Well, I believe he meant to say drunk guy.
Was he pretty drunk?
Yeah, he says, my bad. Yes, your friendly neighborhood garbage man, Jesus. I think you were the drunkest guy on the boat, and I came real close to telling you to shut up.
Is that true?
Yes.
Any examples?
No, he just wouldn't shut up. It's all right, your friendly neighborhood garbage man. It happens. It happens to every one of us. But you ain't lying. You were, as far as I could tell, you were the drunk guy, the dunk guy on the boat.
Yeah, so it was a late night Friday because we went out afterwards with the kids. You know, they get off the boat. They wanted to go out, and my stepdaughter kept telling me the same story over and over and over. Have you been around that drunk?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know. You told me that. Yes, I know. This is the third time you told me that.
Yeah. That can be frustrating. Oh, so there you go. And here we are. I accomplished something this weekend that I've never accomplished before. Not that I've been trying. And I think, if my memory serves me correct, I think maybe Ashley, you can relate to this. Maybe a couple more of yous, but I think I distinctly remember Ashley telling a story like this before. Over the weekend, I dropped my phone in my toilet while I was taking a squeege.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
I've done that a couple times.
Oh, yeah?
Didn't you do it in a porta potty?
That was my e-cig.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
and
That's
it
right.
wasn't one of those disposable ones. It was like a typical douche flute.
Nice.
That's
What? A what?
Douche flute.
A douche
Nice.
flute?
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm not following this.
You
What?
call like the big bulky e-cigs that are like
Yeah.
electronic.
They're kind of
Call them-
expensive, and you recharge it
Yeah.
rather than just tossing it.
Those are
Oh,
douche flutes.
I don't know if I know.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love the nickname, but I just don't know if I know one from the other. So, Wapple, you have dropped your phone in your toilet while taking a whiz bang.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it was a urinal.
What did you do? Oh, what? No,
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
I mean, that's gross.
It's
but
gross, but it wasn't like the toilet where
Yeah.
it just dunked in there.
that
well, I
sucks.
guess the negative is you were in a public setting.
Yep.
So thousands of other men had urinated into that urinal.
Yeah, hairs
Where
everywhere.
There was fumes.
Yeah.
For me, it was my own private toilet. I'm the only one who uses it. So what did you do?
Was it pre or post urination?
It was
Or during?
during.
Oh,
yeah.
That's even
Yep.
worse.
Like I said, while I was I couldn't
Yep.
help but I peed on it for a couple of seconds
Yeah,
before
I did too.
Okay, so what did you do? Did you get rid of it, or did you?
So I pulled it out, and I was obviously using my phone when I was taking a pee, and then
Yeah.
I dropped it, and then I peed on it, and I said, son of a. And
Right.
then I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, I have to grab it, and then took it apart, washed it, and then threw the case
So how did you wash it?
with the sink water.
Did you?
Oh.
Not the urine water.
Yeah, not the urinal.
Yeah, did you use soap?
Yes. Yep. Soaked it.
I didn't take it out of its case, and I just.
You could still have.
Pardon me.
There still could be some urine in there then.
yeah, you might want to take it out of the case, man.
Well, okay. I
Give
mean,
it a little wipe down. Some Windex,
trust me,
maybe.
Not a bad idea.
it occurred to me, but I think I would have had a completely different approach had I been using a public toilet as opposed to my own.
Yeah, that's true.
But okay, I just opened up the case. There's nothing at all in there. No moisture, no nothing.
Oh, that's good.
What I did was Josh, I just took a big can of like Lysol.
Yep.
And I soaked a rag with Lysol, and then I wiped it up and down, up and. Is that good enough?
That seems fine to me.
Yeah, so.
When I put it to my face, it feels the same as it did before.
Thankfully, phones are now waterproof.
Back in the day, that was a killer.
Or
Yeah,
water
that was,
resistant,
like,
depending
your-
on what you get.
Yeah, true. Water resistant.
Oh,
'Cause
is that right?
Yeah, that would ruin my day because it happened at least twice while I was in school, and that just throws a wrench into your whole school day.
And the method is that they say to put it in rice. Who knows if
Yep.
that actually worked or not?
You're
but-
not
It actually
supposed to.
does.
It works.
I've read an article saying you're not supposed to do
oh,
that. actually.
really?
Every
Yeah.
time I've done that method, it's worked.
Yeah,
so.
but you have to wait a while. Like, you can't just do it for like an hour or so. It's got to be like 48 hours.
I'll tell you this much: when I hauled it out of my toilet, again, I dropped it, pulling it out of my pocket, and it just did 1,000 somersaults in the air, right?
Did you try
In
to
super
catch it a
slow
couple times?
motion.
Super slow-mo, suspended animation, the
Yep.
whole routine. It lands in my toilet bowl while I'm taking a piss, and then I had to cut off my stream, which is not a comfortable thing, right,
No.
Josh?
Nope.
Got it out of there. And I'll tell you this much. It's been working fine ever since, except when I first took it out of the toilet, it went glitch and then went back to normal, and then it hasn't done a thing since. You know what, I'm saying?
Did your heart stop?
The whole thing went weep just for a second.
And you went, son of a.
And I thought that was the end of it. It went back to normal, and it's been fine ever since.
When you pulled it out of your pocket, were you responding to a text or something? Or you just pulled it out because you were
I was
bored?
probably just looking at the weather or something.
He was on TikTok.
I was probably just checking the weather or a score of a ball game or something dumb like that could have easily waited till when I was done.
Yeah, I was curious because I could see if that happened to my wife, her being mad at me. Like somehow that would have been my fault because I text right in the middle of that. I was wondering if you were upset. March Madness Jesus texted in. This is a nice text. He also wanted to thank everyone for a great riverboat trip. He said, I, like Josh, wasn't there, but still had a good time. That's nice. I feel like I had a good time, too, with the pictures and the stories.
Oh, I didn't see any pictures. Are they up on our website or something like that?
They're on like social media, yeah.
I'll have to check those out.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. I don't know how to. I don't know how to go to social media. Don't we normally put a pile of pictures up on our website?
Yeah, we will.
We will
Eventually.
eventually. Okay, good.
Yeah, usually they'll hit up social media first and then go from there.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it was a fine time.
Waffle, how are your nerves today?
Oh, boy. Excited, but nervous. That's for sure.
Wapple is our new night guy as well.
Yep, I just got that. I will be working 7 to midnight.
They just told you?
Just now.
Yeah.
Yep, just got a text message.
You seem pretty measured about the whole thing.
Dang,
Yeah,
you're
the
gonna
boss
have
was
to-
like, hey, you're up. Get in
You're
there,
gonna have to
kid.
really get a good nap in during the day.
You are living the dream.
Yeah.
Because that's what every employee wants, more work.
Yep, and the 7 to midnight gig. That's what everyone wants too.
Hey, nothing wrong with the 7 to midnight gig, but people who really want that are the ones that also work the morning show.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are super excited.
Yeah, 7 to midnight. That sounds like a fun time.
How did you land this?
It's going to be a blast.
What have you done to deserve this? So now you're going to be working on this program and at night.
Yep, I'm everywhere.
Hey, you know what?
Can't get rid of me.
You're welcome. You're living with your sister,
Yep.
right? So this is just an opportunity to move in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Free rent.
So
Oh
I got
my
the
God.
back of the building over there by the cot. I'll be over there for a
that
while.
would be awesome if you slept here.
This is your
Man.
new house.
Yep. Welcome, guys, to my humble abode.
Hey, it's okay. There's nerd clusters in the vending machine.
Well,
Apple.
I'm looking forward to never hearing your show.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear. I can't wait.
Tonight's the first night.
Yep.
Yeah, let us know how it goes.
Because we won't be listening.
No. But I'll have my nightcap on and everything, drinking some tea.
Oh my gosh, cute.
Are you going to dim the lights?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have like a, make it a little ambiance?
Yep. It's going to be awesome.
Wouldn't that
like
be
the
something,
nightie
Josh?
on.
I'm going to call you some night around 8:30. Hey, you watching this ball game? Hell no, I'm listening to Wapple
to Wapple
from
93X.
7 to midnight.
Well, what do you got planned? Have you thought of anything?
Not really, no.
Nothing.
Just going to try to take it in stride. Yeah.
All right, so you'll be DJing nights here for a while. All right,
7 to what?
7 to midnight.
And then what time does the morning show start?
It starts at 5:40, but I usually get here around 4 o'clock.
You lucky bastard.
Yep.
So you got nothing cute planned or anything?
No, not really.
Maybe people could text in an idea for you, 651-989-9393, like maybe something you could say your first break.
Yeah.
First time you crack the mic as our new night guy, something you could say.
What's up, dicks?
That's a great
You're a
start.
natural, man. I think I got this nailed.
Dude, that's perfect. What's up, dicks?
And then slam into a song.
Well, you could just play some clips from the morning show, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be happening.
Yeah.
Oh, is that part of the plan?
Yep. Usually, like, each hour, I'm going to do, like, a morning show kind of highlight update.
Oh, you know who's going to love that? People that hate morning shows and listen at night
At
for the music.
nighttime.
Yeah, just want to hear the tunes.
You know, boss, I'm pretty unhappy around here.
I kind of want a raise. Well, kid, do you want some more work?
How about just more work? It'll take your mind off that need for a raise.
Yep, and the need for a house.
Well, what can you do? You're living the dream. Congratulations on the new gig.
Hey.
I know you're excited. People are like, what the? But you're excited about it, I know.
Yeah, I am. Yep.
He loves the sound of his own voice. And now he's going to get it double time skis. All right, you bastards. What else is going on? It's Monday morning. Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver will join us at 7:30. I'm sure you guys probably want to talk about how your local NFL team keeps whooping everybody's ass.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
It
was a fun game that at the same time was kind of boring for some reason.
It was very boring.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it just kind of was.
Well, once you get a big lead and the opposition doesn't have much to offer, yeah, you get a little sleepy. I never saw it. I didn't see yesterday's game, but it was a curb stomp.
Yep. It made me happy. I was a very happy person.
It made you happy.
Yes. Pure joy. Pure joy.
Ashley or Wapple, take some hints from Ashley right there. That's good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah.
Second break.
That's solid stuff right
Second
there.
break.
I'd imagine you'll play you play a tune and just say, that song made me happy.
Yeah.
Thought-provoking.
Here's another one. You dicks.
I can
Hashtag Ashley
100%
thoughts.
see that happening, actually.
You can't just get this stuff anywhere. Comments like that.
After the game yesterday, I paused it on Sam Darnold. I paused the TV, and I made my youngest apologize to Sam for all the things he said when J.J. McCarthy went down and how Sam Darnold's going to tank our season and what a bad quarterback he was.
Dude.
So I made him stand there and apologize to Mr. Darnold. And he did, to his credit.
Did you rub his face in the TV like a dog?
I need to do that to my boyfriend, Josh. He was the same exact way.
I kept telling him early on, I'm like, listen, you don't know how he's going to do. And JJ's an unproven quarterback. You're assuming he's going to take us to the Super Bowl? And maybe he will. Who
J.J.
knows?
McCarthy, is that his name?
Yeah.
Punk. The kid's a punk.
We don't even know yet.
No, we don't know anything about him.
He could be incredible, and he could be a bust. Who knows? I mean, the hopes are high, obviously. But yeah, just him and his friends, they had all these things to say, and I'm telling them, like, can you give him one game? Can we just give him a game to decide?
That's hilarious. You freeze-framed, what's the term? You paused the
I paused
television.
it, and I made him apologize.
Did he actually apologize?
Well, at first he wasn't too excited about it, and pride got in the way, but
Yeah.
eventually he understood. I said, can you give him the fact that he's won 3 games in a row? Can you give him that? And so finally he did.
Oh, so they were even still kind of dogging him out yesterday.
Oh, no, he didn't say. He hasn't said anything since game 1.
All right. Well, there you friggin' go. Like I said, Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver, I'm sure will have plenty to say about it. For now, we got to take a little break ski. We'll come right back with, I think the stupid news is our next move on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, hell yeah. Here we go with our first stupid news report of the week. Josh, I know you remember a number of years ago when this apparent big shot from our company stopped by the building here one day. Most of us had never met him before. And he tried to convince everyone how powerful he was by offering free cars to everyone that crossed his path. You want a car? I'll get you a car. He was on the telephone. You remember this, Josh?
Yeah.
This is one of the douchiest things we've ever seen in our career here. We were told, hey, go down to this office. One of the big shots is in town. He wants to meet you. And when we walked in, he's He's got a telephone on one shoulder and one on the other. You know what I mean? Hey, he's making business deals. He's a big shot. I doubt there was anyone actually on either phone. Right?
No, it was a total power move.
Yeah. And then he says, hey, morning show. Yeah, come on in. I'm just sorry. I'm making a deal here real quick. And he goes, yeah, I'm here with my morning show. And then he looks up at us and says, you guys, you got a car? You need a car? Free car? I'll get you a car. Hey, I'll call you back. I'm talking to my morning show.
Ew.
Yeah, I think we maybe spent 5 minutes in there. 4 of those, he was on the fake phone call, and he promised both of us new pickup trucks. I'm still waiting.
I was going to ask you. I never got that car.
I didn't either.
Okay.
But it's only been 15 years.
He'll get around to it, I'm sure.
It's beginning to feel like the guy might have been a total liar who was putting on a show. I don't know.
He's got me in great shape. I've been walking everywhere because I don't want to get a car when I'm going to get a free car eventually. I can't wait.
I wouldn't have felt right getting a car from that guy. I wouldn't. It would have felt too sleazy. Even if it would have happened, it would have felt too sleazy. So Big Shot comes to town, puts on a show for us. That's something I'll never forget. Here's the most disgusting way to get a free car that I've ever heard of. This year, at an event called the Oklahoma State Fair, a company called Dent Source sponsored and organized a competition called the Stinkin' Sentra Giveaway. And the premise was, I guess, pretty simple. 4 people are sent to live inside a Nissan Sentra at an outdoor fair exhibit. The contestants are only allowed to leave the car once every 3 hours for a 15-minute bathroom break. And anything they bring into the car, like discarded food, trash, or whatever, has to stay in the car. The last person to leave wins the car. Again, they called it the Stinkin' Sentra Giveaway. So it's more or less a question of stamina. Combined, I guess if you want to make it this way, it's kind of a gross out contest, too.
Oh, sure.
You're trapped in this car with 3 strangers. Anything and everything that's brought into the car has to stay there. So the competition ended a week ago. The winner was a character by the name of Brian Richmond. Brian's victory in the Stinkin' Sentra competition didn't come without some controversy. Says here, a dude called Chris Deschner finished second in the competition. He upped and left the car after 80 hours of being trapped inside. What is that? How many days is that?
About a little over 3 days.
So the second place guy, again, Brian Richmond won the car. The second place guy, Chris Deschner, he lasted 80 hours before he took a walk. Now, in a Facebook video, Chris, the second place guy, claims at one point during the competition, after they had a potty break, again, you got one of those every 3 hours, and it was a 15-minute break. After a potty break, Brian, the winner, came back into the car carrying a cup plumb full of soft, wet human feces that he had fetched out the porta potty there at the fairgrounds.
That's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Yep, it is.
The guy wanted that car.
So the second place guy, Chris, he thought that was cheating.
It doesn't seem right. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that to another live human being.
So I'm trying to think. Okay, so Nissan Sentra. I just looked up a 2024 Sentra.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it starts around $21,000. If someone paid you $21,000, would you grab some poop and bring it into a vehicle with you?
Maybe.
Yeah, if I mean honest myself, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, again, in trade, I get $21,000. All I have to do is scoop some poop out of a porta potty and sit in a car with it?
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough one.
Now, I mean, that's so much money.
It's quite a bit of money.
You're also the rest of your life, you're the guy that did that.
Yes.
But $21,000.
Yeah, no, I would definitely do that. 100%, no doubt. Yeah.
I think I would have to.
I might do it for $200 if I'm being honest.
That's so true, Dana.
So much less it'd be shocking.
So second place guy thought it was cheating. That first place guy, of course, this was undecided yet, but in the end, one finished first, the other. The second place guy thought it was cheating, and he complained right away. So dude gets in the car with a cup full of feces. He complains right away. Again, Dent Source was the name of the company running this competition. The folks running the competition, who, by the way, the folks who were on site, the Dent Source people who were on site for 80 hours for this friggin' competition, they likely wanted nothing to do with this nonsense, but some marketing dork, like the guy I was telling you about a few minutes ago, forced them into it for publicity. But on site, they ruled that bringing human turds into the Sentra was a violation of competition rules, but not enough to disqualify Brian, the guy who walked into the car with the cup full of poo. The turd cup was removed from the car, and Chris and Brian resumed the contest. Unfortunately, Chris said he couldn't mentally recover from that, from sitting in a car with a cup full of, he claimed he had, quote, more self-respect than that to be involved in such a thing. He drops out of the competition, handing Brian the victory and the new car.
I mean, I'd be terrified to sit in a car alone with the dude that did something like that. I mean, think about that. That guy thought of that. But then, he's sitting in a car almost 80 hours. Maybe it would make any of us go insane where we're deciding we're going to play with poop.
Yeah, that's a long time. You're probably gonna do things you normally wouldn't do.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, hopefully it would take me longer than that to get there.
I believe,
but I'd be very nervous sharing a car with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, what
especially
if
a compact vehicle?
The friggin' guy throws it on you.
Yeah.
If there are no rules, what if he? So, by the way, I believe I saw pictures of both of these characters, Chris and Brian, the first and second place finishers in this free car contest. Both of them looked like unstable individuals, in my opinion. Maybe that's just Oklahoma. I don't know. But Chris, the second place finisher, is still pretty upset by what happened. And he says he's no longer a fan of whoever Dent Source is. I'm sure that hurts their feelings terribly. According to the Dent Source website, the company will now clean and detail the car and deliver it to the winner, Brian.
I don't think they should have to clean it. I mean, he's the one. He did it to himself. Why does somebody have to clean that for him?
Very interesting situation folks were put in there.
Are you guys familiar with Marie Kondo?
Yes.
Am I pronouncing her last name correctly?
You are.
The organizing consultant?
Yep, on Netflix.
Netflix, pretty famous.
An organizing consultant. What does that mean?
Well, she'll help you organize your house/life, right?
And she's famous on
very, very famous
television.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't heard of her.
Okay, so she's got like different rules on organizing your life and when to know when to get rid of things and when to keep them. So Backyard Haircut Jesus wants to know if we've heard of the poop rule for getting rid of stuff. So instead of the Marie Kondo does this spark joy rule, the poop rule is you imagine if the object is covered in poop, would you clean it off and keep it or throw it away? He said it works great.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a great way to look at things.
That's very clever.
Yeah. Oh, it's got poop on it. I don't need that anymore.
Very clever. So perfect line of thinking for folks like hoarders, right? Wouldn't that be valuable for a hoarder?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or just people who collect? Maybe there are plenty of yous out there who aren't quite at hoarder status, but you're getting there. You just have meaningless items everywhere. That's a very clever line of thought.
We've got a little area of the basement where we got a bunch of crap there that we're deciding what to do with. I'm going to use the poop rule when I get home.
Yeah, man.
And if I can't get into it, I'm going to have to add some poop. And then we'll find out which I'm cleaning and which I'm tossing.
I was just going to offer my services for that, Josh.
You are a good friend, sir. Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to come poop on the stuff in the corner of your basement.
A great friend.
Now, here's a guy who got himself in trouble for taking a deuce. We're going to keep this theme up for another minute or two. Here's a guy who got himself in trouble for taking a deuce on the floor at a casino or something. I don't know. These types of stories wear on me. They do. So I don't really even care to be specific. It was a casino or some friggin'...
Yeah, it was a casino.
Okay, in Singapore. Dude went to court. He got a fine, Ski. $400, I think it was. You know, when he asked the judge for a lower fine, so there he is at court, and the judge says, you took on the floor of a casino? I'm going to fine you $400 is how you say it. The guy says, oh, well, that sounds kind of high.
What's the going rate for taking a dump on a casino floor?
Yeah, I've never paid that much before.
Last time it was $150.
Can you picture having that set of balls on you?
Nope.
You took on the floor of a public place. You go to court. There you are standing in court. Most of us would be so ashamed. We wouldn't dare say a word. I think I'd wear a fake mustache to the court hearing so nobody knew. And this guy has the balls to say, oh, $400, that's a lot of money. And the judge said, I love this judge. He said, when the guy asked for a lower fine, can't you fine me a little less than $400? The judge said, do you know how to get a lower fine? Don't cut a log in public, the judge said. My God, the balls on these people. Just no sense of awareness at all. 37-year-old guy he is, acting like that. Dropping wolf bait on the floor at a casino. 7 o'clock in the morning, for Christ's sake. 7 o'clock in the morning. Me and Cubby are going in for the biscuits and gravy. You know, we're people are walking in, going to have something to eat. You know, have a nice day. And a guy's cutting one on the floor at 7 o'clock in the morning. He had too much to drink, apparently, and he didn't know the difference between the floor of a common public area at a casino and a private toilet. He left his stack there for everyone to see. Word is it took him 10 minutes to push it all out.
Oh, no.
10 minutes.
So it wasn't an emergency.
He's got to mix some fiber in with those Coronas or whatever he was drinking.
At least have the decency to saddle up on a garbage can or something.
Oh, God. I don't know what's wrong with us. And you know security had wanted nothing to do with this. They probably were making bets on how long it would take them to get it all out. And the final answer was 10 minutes. God. Oh, what do you mean $400? That just galls me.
Yeah, he should have to be the on-call guy for when other drunkards poop places where he's got to go clean that up. Yeah,
can you imagine?
Some poor sucker had to clean that up for him.
Yep. That's a great idea. I don't read about it as often as I'd like, but every once in a while I'll read a story about someone getting in trouble and their punishment isn't a fine or time in the cooler. Sometimes it's to get a taste of their own medicine. And you described it perfectly, Josh. The guy's in trouble for laying turds down in a public place, then he should be on call for the next 3 months to clean up situations like that in town, right?
Yeah. Maybe that'll teach him a little respect.
Exactly.
I wonder if, maybe there's a couple employees that saw it and pretended they didn't.
Oh, yeah.
That move. You think?
I know plenty 100%. Of people will do that when a pet lays one out in the house. Act like they didn't see it.
I saw that happen in person, not poop related, but I was so excited about this really giant pop I got at this restaurant. So excited, couldn't wait to drink it. And I'm walking, and I'm holding it kind of by the top, and it crumpled, and I lost about a third of it.
No.
And my kids are laughing at me because I'm an idiot. So I'm wiping it up, and a dude that works there comes over to add ice and kind of looked at me. He's like, hey, your problem. And I mean, there was so much of it. It was taking me. I went through a lot of napkins, and I couldn't get it completely clean. The guy came back with more ice. He's still looking at me. So eventually, I'm like, okay, there's nothing I could do with just napkins. And I put one of those caution wet floor signs over it. And I came back to my table. I'm like, hey, I was on the safety committee at work. I had to do that to make sure nobody got injured. But yeah, he walked over there a couple times and just thought, not my problem.
He looked at you and probably thought, he looks like he can handle it.
And I was kind of glad because at first I was so embarrassed. I'm like, oh, I don't want to make somebody else take care of this. But after a while, it was clear I couldn't get it all up. I needed some help.
I thought of you yesterday, Josh, because I saw some of your colleagues in the asset protection business make a sting. They got a guy.
Over at Target?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, that's fun.
Can I tell you something? That's just what we do.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't need the kudos. You're aware of how great you guys and what a great service you guys provide.
And they've gotten even better.
Mm-hmm.
All right, by God. By the way, back to that story of 4 people locked in a car. Last one out wins. Oh. One dude brought a cup of turds into the car, and he ended up winning the contest. Here's HD Parts Jesus. He said, by the way, it was 80 hours they were in that friggin' car until there was a lone survivor. HD Parts Jesus says, I'm pretty sure I could have won that car in 12 hours. All I would need is the magic combination of a 12-pack of Budweiser, a large cup of Wendy's chili, and 12 White Castle sliders. And just...
I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, that's a lot right
Just turning that thing into a complete fart box.
All right, the more I learn about Thailand, the more I'm convinced that place sucks. If I lived in Thailand, I'd be in constant contact with what they call these days, Josh, a realtor.
Would you? You want out?
Yeah, to help me get the F out of there. Every time Thailand sends us a stupid news story, it's about a 76-foot python that inhaled some poor bastard. Most of these folks are killed dead. Some get lucky. So over there in Thailand, a damn bloodthirsty python squeezed all the fluids out of some poor old lady for 2 hours. But somehow she got out of there. 64-year-old lady. I guess she's not that damn old. Says here she was, well, you must be thinking, well, what, was she out in the jungle or something? Nah, she's in her own kitchen doing the dishes. Says here she was preparing to do her evening dishes at her home. Summers outside of Bangkok, effing Thailand. She felt a sharp pain in her thigh, and when she looked down, there was a long, fat-ass python sucking on her leg. Wouldn't that be something to live in a place where you could be doing something as mundane as the damn dishes, and there's a chance a snake the size of a minivan could creep up on you, pull an artery out of your calf, and watch you bleed out?
Can't even fathom that. I would never put myself in that position.
Yeah, I just wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there and live there. So this was a 76.5-foot python. It coiled itself around her torso. So it bit her on the thigh. It's sucking all of the fat and blood cells and arteries up out of her thigh. And then it wrapped itself around her torso and squeezed up and down until she fell onto her kitchen floor. And she must have been saying her prayers at that point, right?
Oh, I would think so. I mean, she looked pretty miserable in the police video. Oh, she's like, this is very uncomfortable. And she kind of looked defeated, like, all right, let's just wrap this up one way or the other.
Dude, the pictures of that poor gal that you were just referencing, Josh, once she was loose of that snake, she looked terrible. There was not an ounce of strength or wind or fluid remaining in her body. The snake took all of it. But anyway, we'll go back to how she got out of this mess. Because that's what those pythons do. They hug all the oxygen out of you until your lights go out, and then they swallow you whole. So this gal, coiled up, it's 86 3/4 inch long, 86-foot python.
Can I some? I'm not like necessarily a detail guy, but I've noticed every time you mention the length of the python, it's gotten considerably larger. Like almost doubled in size.
The closer they get to you, Josh, the bigger they.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen that in mirrors before. So
Yeah,
I imagine you're telling the truth.
It was 75, 6 feet when it slithered into her kitchen, but once it wrapped around her, it was more like 86.
Okay, that makes sense.
With 3/4 of a. So the gal hollers out for help, and a neighbor happened to be walking by, but this was about an hour and a half into her ordeal. She's hollering. Hour and a half goes by. Finally, nosy neighbor just happened to be walking by. He calls the cops. The lady was about dead when the cops used a crowbar to hit the snake on its head until it released its grip and it slithered away. And then some of the other sumbitches in the neighborhood captured the damn thing and gave it the beating of its life. A terrible beating.
Now, this makes sense. Hot Cocoa Sheeza said it's because it's a grower and not a show.
Mm-hmm. All in all, the lady spent about 2 hours in the clutches of the python before being freed, all cold and slimy and pressing its snake wiener all over her.
Snake wiener.
And like I said, the pictures of this lady, you got to see the pictures. She's so close to death. After they finally peeled this big monster off of her, she's just, she looks like she just slid out of a rhinoceros's birth canal. Just, she's just garbage.
Yeah, she needs a nap.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Yeah, she went through a full day.
Wet garbage, and she could use some sleep, yeah. She was treated for bites, but she was all right other than being a little out of wind. Telling you, Thailand sucks. As we already know, encounters with snakes are not uncommon in Thailand, which is why I don't know why folks, if they have the means, why don't you just get the hell out of there? Let the snakes have Thailand.
What's a popular tourist destination? There must be some pretty good stuff going on there.
Do you have any idea what you would have to give me in return to take me to Thailand, to convince me to go to Thailand? What you would have to give me in return, none of you could come up with.
Well, you like authentic pad thai? If so, you got to go to New York. The best pad thai you can find is in New York.
Oh! I've heard the same thing about Chinese food. I heard a guy say that out loud once.
Yep.
And Cubby over there, mild-mannered, the father figure of our program, Cubby. Mm-hmm. He lost his damn mind.
I did. I'm sorry. I
I'd
lost.
love to see that.
No,
It was. We were stuck on a tiny little boat with these guys. It was a whole 3-4 days. I couldn't do it anymore.
You should never apologize.
I
Because
couldn't listen to this guy anymore.
What you did was beautiful. We had 3-4 days of this big shot dude from New York telling us all about, where are you guys from? Minnesota? Well, I'm from New York. Here's what we do in New York. Hey, look, someone being stabbed to death. Hey, man, you haven't seen someone getting stabbed to death until you've seen it done in New York. I walked down Madison Avenue, we just had
He belittled Minnesota over and over, making fun of Midwesterners.
The guy was a 6'1", 300-pound douchebag is all this guy was. He was just a bag of douche water. And finally, the last night that we were around this guy, Josh and I found a quiet spot. We were on a stupid cruise on the ocean that we didn't want to be part of, and we just found the cabin in the bottom of the boat. And Josh and I just sat there in the quiet, praying that somehow, some way, we can return home and forget that this ever happened. And here comes Douche Barrel. What are you guys doing? And Josh said, well, actually, we're just talking about how much we're looking forward to getting home. We were actually talking about what we wanted to eat for dinner when we that's what we were talking about.
Not surprising.
And I was like, I can't wait to get a big pizza and just sit on my own couch. And Josh said, I think I'm going to get some Chinese food. So Josh is telling this guy, we were talking, and I was telling Nick that I'd get some Chinese food. The dude has to dump one more on us. You know where you find the best Chinese food in the world? New York City. And Josh said, oh, is that right? He came shooting out of his chair. It scared me, actually. It frightened me. Little Cubby with his little Bermuda shorts and his little tank top on a truck. Is that right? Is New York City's where you get the... What about China, you son of a bitch bastard? What about China?
Gosh.
And the guy says, well, that's it. I've had enough of you Midwesterners. You guys, you just got no class.
Now, keep in mind, I was a 24-year-old man, and I'd been drinking tequila for 3 days.
I would love to have seen that.
Just couldn't do it anymore. I could not listen to that guy anymore.
I had a red striped beer in my lap, and I just kind of I spilt it. I spilt a lot of that beer on my right thigh when Josh shot out of his chair and said, "Oh, you son of a bitch!"
Listen to this from elementary music teacher Jesus. She said her stepson had a brief deployment in Thailand when he was in the Marines.
Oh, no.
And he said it smelled like AIDS.
Oh, my God.
She said, I don't know what that means exactly, but it's pretty descriptive. That's my new line, by the way. I'm going to start. If you don't mind, could you ask your stepson? I'd like to start using that.
Oh,
It smells like AIDS.
that's terrible. Oh, I've given myself a headache now, but I do so enjoy that story. I so enjoy that moment, and I'll never forget it. The few times that I've seen you snap, Josh, and just come completely uncorked at people are some of the fondest memories of my life.
That's nice to say.
Because
I'm a little embarrassed. I lost my. I try and keep my
Dude,
cool.
I've spent the majority of my life coming unglued at people. He's the kind of guy that keeps his composure, very mature, measured. So when you go nuclear, it's awesome. It's awesome, and you've been in the right every time. That's the thing. It'd be different.
Good.
It'd be different if I thought, well, I know I work with this guy and he's my good friend, but boy, he's being a real prick. No, you everyone that I've watched you snap at, oh, they had it coming. All right. I think I got time for one more here. Which one do I like? Oh. Yeah, I think I'll go this way. I love the Japanese. They're some cool-ass people.
I'm with you on that one. That's a place I don't ever really want to leave the country. I don't know if Canada counts. There's a couple places in Canada I'd like to go, but I'd love to go to Japan.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. I'd like just to wake up there.
Yeah.
And then fall asleep and be back home.
That's
at some
the
point.
tough part is
The traveling seems miserable.
No, I would go nuts.
I have no interest because it looks busy. It looks very like there's a lot of people there, and that stresses me out.
You know where there's a lot of people, Ashley?
Oh my God.
no. Where you want to talk a lot of people?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
You don't even know a lot of people. You got to go to New York for that. Ever heard of Times Square, Ashley?
What's wrong with you? Why would you consider anywhere else has a lot of people? Why would you consider anywhere else before you consider New York City first?
Yeah, you want crazy traffic and a lot of people? That's where you go. That's a real city.
Vomit.
I love the Japanese, but by damn, they can be odd. Just odd. And if you don't believe me, then take a look, see. Here's what they got going on over there. Take a look, see at the cat testicle calendar that they're selling in Japan. So they can mark down the dates of any hair metal shows coming to town because they love hair metal in Japan.
That's one of the coolest things about them.
Right. That's what the cat testicle calendar is all about. You can mark down, okay, Dawkin is playing here on the 15th, and then Wasp is playing on the 19th. And don't forget Nelson with Danger, and Brittany Fox are playing on the... You can do that while looking at Cat Nuts. It's the
And then Mr. Big is playing on the 25th through the 31st. All shows sold out.
Right.
I've never seen cat testicles.
Me neither.
I've seen my share of dog testicles. My God, they can be offensive.
Yeah, me either. I guess I've never really thought about it much before, but all the cats I've usually been around and hung out with are females.
The Cat Balls calendar. Now, this year, I don't know. This is some kind of a catchphrase that the Cat Nuts calendar people are dumping on folks to try to sell the calendar. It says, please feel soothed by these powered up cat testicles. Okay, I guess that's their selling point. From what I can understand, they've been selling Cat Nads calendars over there for the last 3 years. People can't get enough. You can order it through Amazon.
Some of the cats look kind of proud to show them off, I noticed.
Oh, yeah. A little braggadocious?
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of like, what do you think of these, huh?
Some of those cats need a pair of jockey shorts.
Yeah.
I mean, my damn. Just put on a pair of drawers before everyone pukes. But they're fun like that over in Japan. I'll get used to the cat nuts calendar. I will.
Well,
but it is a little shocking at first.
Yeah, it is. Are those, I'm sure I've asked this question before. Maybe someone in the brother or sister could let me know. Are those used panty vending machines, is that real or is that just a joke?
Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I want to pretend it's real.
You always hear that.
Heard a lot of stories about the used panties vending machine, but I just don't know if it's real.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
First and foremost, congratulations to Iowa. Came and took it in the second half. This is a 60-minute game. I told our team, I said, we played for 30 minutes. Simplistic facts about it. The job of the head football coach is to get his team to play hard for 60 minutes, and I failed to do that.
I don't care. I still love you, PJ.
I don't like sad PJ.
Nobody can ever make me hate him. I love that man.
I like the row the boat PJ.
I just found out, actually, my niece, she had lunch with him. She goes to the U of M. She's a sophomore there, and she was applying for some type of sports internship, and she had lunch with him and said he's a really awesome guy.
Not buying it.
Did she win the opportunity to do that, or how'd that work out?
No, she had some inside connections there.
Well, could she hook us up? Maybe we'd like to have lunch with them.
Maybe she could.
Golden Gopher football got curb stomped by the Iowegians on Saturday. It's got some people pissed off.
It looked good the first half.
That's what I heard. I heard the first half was good, and then the second half was the opposite of good.
Yeah.
You were at the game?
Yeah,
Ashley?
I was. It was a lot of fun.
You had like a marathon tailgate, too. I was hearing all about that on Friday night with your boyfriend and his parents.
Yeah, about 5 hours.
That's
5 hours of tailgating.
That's a good shift right there.
Surprised you made it to the game.
Me too.
The Vikings just keep whooping everybody's ass. I don't know who the Houston Texans are, but they came into town with an attitude, and they got dealt with. Sam Darnold sucks.
It's just awful.
This guy's a joke.
Show me something.
Yeah.
I remember watching that game. After the fourth touchdown, I thought, show me something.
I mean, it's only 3 games in, but they do have a 3-0 record. But it's just, it's kind of fun how when the Vikings signed this guy, everybody was just, come on. That's the only effort you want to make, Sam Darnold? Guy's a garbage pile. Everybody said it. And now here he is, 3-0. There's a few other people on the team that are contributing as well. But
yeah.
Just saying. I love this. Some kid at the game yesterday had a sign, held it up in the air. They put him up on the Jumbotron. Remember they were playing a team that represents the state of Texas. And the kid's sign said simply, "Our state fair is better."
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a legendary sign.
That's cute. The Twins are hovering on total disaster. We'll talk to Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder about all this mess here in about a half hour. Stick around for Josh's news report.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930. Now ran by his granddaughter, Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Told me, he said, "Mommy, I didn't know what to say." And so I just said the first thing that came to my mind, and I just said, "You can have noodles. You can eat noodles." Her response was, "Well, demons don't eat noodles."
Okay.
Oh.
Nope.
All right.
That took a turn.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why are demons being talked about?
That's the question. A 36-year-old photographer was kicked out of an elementary school after making some inappropriate and strange comments to students during Picture Day. Reports said the photographer was removed from Chittum Elementary School in Chesapeake, Virginia last Monday after asking a student if she could eat their soul. Principal Bridget Outlaw, dude,
sweet,
emailed parents Wednesday confirming the photographer was escorted off campus for making the comments to students. A parent said the photographer's interaction with her son got real strange real fast.
She asked him, "Can I steal your identity?" His response was just no. Her next question was, "Can I eat your soul?" Then her next question was, "Well, then what can I eat?"
Principal Outlaw said parents reported the incident to the school and the photographer was promptly removed.
So it was Picture Day? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, pictures.
Picture.
Huh.
Yeah. Can I eat your soul?
This character is a little different.
Yeah.
Well, then what can I eat?
Yeah. Like that's your follow-up.
Yeah.
Huh. That's really a hell of a deal.
But demons don't eat noodles.
How does she know? 2,000 miles away, another incident involving inappropriate behavior at an elementary school surfaced, this time in Utah. Granite School District officials issued a statement regarding a 40-year-old teacher from Cooper Hills Elementary was placed on administrative leave after making inappropriate comments to a group of students. According to the district, the teacher is accused of making a threat of violence against the school. However, they did say they don't believe the teacher's threat was credible. That teacher's been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of an investigation. They didn't say what the person said, but it was bad enough to get him kicked out of school. Many people enjoy masturbating. In fact, you may be doing so right now. But most have the self-control to keep their hands off themselves until they're in private, away from others, and especially children. Parents are holding their kids a little closer in New York's Upper West Side this week after 2 different men were recently seen masturbating outside schools. Administrators at Central Park Montessori sent a note to parents Wednesday about the disturbing incident, which unfolded during Tuesday's dismissal. A parent noticed a man across the street masturbating and managed to snap a photo of the creep. The same day, a 48-year-old man was spotted pleasuring himself across the street from an elementary school. He was whacking away next to a sign about a kindergarten registration event. Similar to the previous instance, a parent caught the man on camera before he left the area.
That's upsetting.
Police are investigating. Yeah, I mean, bad enough that it's 1, much less 2. Yuck. A St. Paul man will not serve jail time for accidentally shooting himself in front of a dozen children at an elementary school earlier this year. The shooting happened during an open house at Como Park Elementary School. Court documents say dozens of families were in the gym when his handgun discharged, firing around into his leg while he played basketball with his daughter.
I think just as a gun safety matter, he needs to have his gun under control, and he apparently didn't.
While the man is legally permitted to carry a firearm, St. Paul Public Schools do not allow firearms on their properties. The father told responding officers he wasn't wearing his holster because he spilled water on it and was having trouble keeping up his pants. No one else was hurt.
Oh, wow. My favorite ever was that cop. We had audio of a cop a number of years ago who was teaching a gun safety class to future officers, was he not, Josh?
Yeah, that's
Remember
exactly.
the guy standing up? And
I thought I had that audio. I'm looking for it.
he shot himself on accident, and what was really cute about it was he tried really hard to be calm. I mean, we're talking about, bam! He shoots himself while teaching a gun safety class, and then he says something along the lines of, okay, be calm, everybody. Now this is what not to do. And eventually, I think he had to fall down and cry because the pain was too much for him.
Here it is.
50 Cent, Too Short, all of them talk about Glock 40. Okay, I'm the only one in this room professional enough that I know of to carry this Glock 40. I'm the only one. No, all right. Is everybody all right? You all right? Yeah, I'm here. Listen up, guys. And I made a mistake. So listen to me. See that how the accident happened? It can happen to you, and you can be blown away. Okay? So guys, never play with guns.
The guy, I got to give him credit for keeping his act together.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
He says, all right, I'm hit. But guys, let this be a lesson to you.
And the best is, hey, I'm the only one in this room qualified for this. Boy, I do feel bad for this guy, the St. Paul guy. Oh, must be embarrassing.
The guy who was playing hoops with his daughter and he air-holed himself? Yeah.
Thank God he didn't hurt anybody else. I mean, the fact he got himself in the leg, oh boy. Police in California took a report of a vehicle break-in the victim claimed resulted in cash being taken from their car, $1 million in cash. The victim told officers they parked their vehicle in front of a nearby school and went inside with their child. After an undisclosed amount of time, the vehicle owner and their kid returned to find the rear passenger window had been shattered. The victim told police a cardboard box was stolen from inside that vehicle, a box they claim contained $1 million.
Who in their right mind would think a place like this would have that much cash on hand?
Regrettably, it sounds like an inside job.
Police have not said if the victim's story checks out, but in the police department's weekly crime summary, they did say they found a GPS device on the vehicle. The status of the investigation is unclear at this time.
Dude claimed he had $1 million in his vehicle?
Yeah.
And where was he hanging out front of?
School.
What was this talk of an inside job? I'm not following that part.
Well, I think what they're saying is somebody must have known, if this is legit, somebody must have known there was $1 million in there. Maybe that's why the GPS was on there. Or maybe the person set the whole thing up.
Is this kind of like those folks I've heard about where when their house burns down, they claim they had much more valuable items in the house than they truly did?
Kind of wondering.
Okay.
When our house was broken into, we had, I had a TV mount up on the wall, but I hadn't bought the TV yet, right? And the cop's like, oh, they get your TV too? I'm like, no, we haven't got it yet. And he's like, are you sure? He's like, was there maybe a 65, 75-inch TV up there?
That's awesome.
Josh is like, no, it was 30-inch.
Yeah, it was a hand-me-down.
Just a really small
Piece of
one.
crap.
I think I'd have a hard time picking up on that. I
Same
do.
here.
I don't think he would have let me go through with it, but it was a pretty funny line. I did have a cable guy once. I was paying for HBO, and then eventually I just couldn't justify it. And he's like, all right, I got to put this deal out here on the box just because you can't. If this was not here, you can't get HBO. And I'm like, okay, I understand. He's like, yeah, so if anybody were to remove this, you'd get it, but I have to put this on, and it kind of blocks the premium channels. I'm like, okay, sweet, I get it. He's like, what I'm saying? It took me 3 times to go, oh, gotcha. All right, I hear what you're saying. I'm an idiot.
Nice, helpful people.
Yeah, they're out there, everyone. A 38-year-old Utah man was arrested Wednesday after police say he fired a round through another driver's windshield because he thought that driver was going too slow.
I think it's just a coward because you can sit down, you can slow down, you can talk to somebody.
Police responded to a road rage incident where the suspect shot through the victim's windshield after they stopped on the side of the road to argue about the victim's driving too slowly. The victim told police he was outside his car and about to get back in when Capone Dixon fired the bullet. The victim followed Dixon, who fled to a Walmart. Security cameras recorded the license plate as he drove through the parking lot, which police used to identify him. They said, pretty smart of him to drive someplace that's loaded with security cameras. On Wednesday, he was spotted driving near his apartment and was pulled over. He demanded to know why he was stopped, and when told, he said he was just defending himself. During their investigation, officers also spoke to his apartment manager, who said that Dixon is violent, threatening, and no longer allowed to talk to him in person because of those threats.
Ew.
A Louisiana fire chief was charged with DWI Saturday after crashing his district-issued truck into a fire hydrant, ironically enough. 30-year-old Mark McGee crashed a 2022 Ford F-250 assigned to him as the district chief. The truck was unmarked but had emergency lights. Ironically enough, when McGee veered off the road, the fire chief hit a fire hydrant, and it was only just after noon. He was drunk early in the day, allegedly. Then in California, a firefighter was arrested on Friday for starting 5 separate wildfires in the state within the last 6 weeks.
There you go.
Yeah, the wildfires, it seems like, look at your own department over there in California. It keeps happening. A wild incident shut down a major highway in North Carolina for 12 hours when someone stole a cable company's bucket truck with a worker still in the bucket.
No.
Investigators said the suspect drove the truck for over a half mile down the highway with the boom extended the entire time, smashing into utility lines along the way.
I'm working up here.
Before finally crashing. That's a bad day at work. The Spectrum worker, strapped into a safety harness, ended up dangling in the air after getting out of the bucket. He managed to cut himself free, fell to the ground, and injured his leg.
I couldn't imagine it. I've been up 80 feet, and you're that far up in the air, just the wind can shift and make you move, rock back 2 or 3 feet. He had to be terrified.
When police arrived, they arrested 53-year-old Frank Moody, who, as it turned out, had been released from jail just 2 hours earlier. After the crash, the suspect tried to walk away, but witnesses stopped him until police arrived.
Just slamming into power lines and stuff?
Yeah.
My gosh.
Did he know he had a man in the bucket?
I don't know. I'm not sure if he knew or not. He
hope
certainly
not.
didn't care. The mystery of an SUV seen perched atop a Florida dumpster was revealed to have involved a poorly timed parking job, a construction site, and a forklift.
A prank gone wrong, someone parked in the wrong spot. I have no idea, honestly.
The SUV had been lifted onto the dumpster by a construction worker helping to build a new apartment complex. Worker said the vehicle had been left parked in a work area, so they hoisted it up with a forklift.
I was on lunch break, just driving down the street, and then I had to do like a double take, and I seen a car on top of a dumpster. I'm like, are you serious? Is that fair game? Is that free? It's in the dumpster?
Sometimes when you park where you're not supposed to, this is what happens, a construction worker said. The vehicle was later relocated to a parking space away from that work area.
That's kind of badass.
That is pretty badass.
The workers did that to the guy?
Yeah. Okay, you can't park here.
Yeah, it was pretty funny watching that video, too.
Yeah, I like that, and I like the ones where the fire department, if you're blocking a hydrant, they'll just go right through your car.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty cold.
A Florida man was taken to jail after he burglarized. Well, people did say, hey, they could have moved it onto the side of the road.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, can we give a pimp a break, for God's sake? That you park in the wrong spot and I got to fetch my car off the top of a dumpster?
I would appreciate the humor if that was my view.
Yeah, you'd have to.
A Florida man was taken to jail after he burglarized a mini golf course while wearing only underwear. The Lee County Sheriff's Office said the incident happened shortly after 4:30 a.m. September 13th at the Smuggler's Cove Adventure Golf in Fort Myers Beach. At the scene, deputies heard loud banging noises and a man talking. They soon came across 38-year-old Francisco Mayorga, who was wearing nothing but his underpants.
Who else is with you? Is somebody with you? Nothing. Just you by yourself?
On the property, deputies observed several broken decorations, a broken window, a door that had been forced open, and a broken fire extinguisher. 2 other fire extinguishers appeared to be missing. Security footage initially showed the underwear man wearing clothes, but at some point, underwear man stripped down to only his underwear.
Well, that's what he's known for.
He is now.
Now he is,
Now, that's for sure.
Smuggler's Cove Adventureland, you said.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, can you go 3 blocks in that part of Florida without seeing a pirate-themed something? You know what I'm saying?
Probably not.
Is that why everyone's
not.
so cracked down there? Because they've gone nuts from the constant pirate themes?
They're tired of the pirates.
Yeah.
Recent statewide crackdowns on drunken driving and speeding yielding not only numbers of offenders, but also some eye-popping numbers for the highest speeds and blood alcohol levels, and one pretty weird story out of Egan. From mid-August through Labor Day weekend, officers, deputies, and troopers from more than 250 agencies across Minnesota made over 1,200 arrests for driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. These same agencies wrote nearly 70,000 speeding citations during a 4-month stretch until Labor Day. DPS noted speeding and impaired driving are among the leading causes of deaths on state roads. Traffic deaths this year are running 11% higher than this time last year. The DPS highlighted some examples regarding impaired or driving or speeding. Police in Egan saw a 60-year-old woman celebrating Labor Day by sitting in a lawn chair in the middle of the road. Residents provided her with the chair after she hit several parked vehicles and passed out. Police gave her a breath test measuring her blood alcohol level at 0.443.
Whoa, that's a keeper.
Kid stuff.
Yeah, she's had drinks before. She's worked her way up to that. More than 5.5 times the legal limit. Elsewhere in the state, another driver in Steele County topped 0.40, while the next 4 down the list range from 0.36 to 0.37. A statement from DPS said speed and DWI are the 2 leading cause of fatalities on our roads. Preliminary information from the agency suggests speed contributed to a staggering 94 deaths on Minnesota roads this year, up from 81 over the same period in 2023. There's 2 Monday night football matchups tonight. First on ESPN, the Bills host the Jaguars. Then 45 minutes later on ABC, the Bengals will host the Commanders. There will be a Monday Night Football doubleheader a couple more times this season, weeks 4, 7, and 15. Then the 5th season premiere of 911 Lone Star tonight on Fox.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, hang on. I'm
like that
sorry.
one?
Before you get into the birthdays, 911, what color is the star?
Well, they don't mention the color, but it's a Lone Star.
Lone Star.
Yeah, it's by itself.
Before you get into the birthdays, did you guys see the ad for this television show where there's going to be a bee NATO?
No.
No.
I saw it yesterday. It looks like one of these legit firefighter shows, and there's going to be a bee NATO. Check it out. I wish I could tell you more than that. I figured you guys would be all over this because I think some of you enjoy the whole Sharknado vibe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look it up. Bee NATO.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be on ABC September 26th.
Is it an episode of a well-known show, or is it a new show?
Yeah. What's the show, Wapple?
It looks like 911.
Oh, sweet. I love that show. Yes.
And they're going to be dealing with a billion killer bees break out of the back of a van or something, and then they somehow form a storm, and no one survives. It's
that recently happened, where not that exact extent, but there was a fire truck covered in bees. Very recently.
This will become a thing, and you can say that you heard it here first.
That show has a lot of episodes like that. Yeah.
They're silly like that?
Yeah, I mean, the very first episode I ever watched, it was like a huge tsunami type wave that like crashed over a carnival.
So was it a carnami? A clown nami? It was a carnival? Did they go that route?
No,
or
they missed that opportunity.
They didn't.
But you seem to enjoy that show?
Yeah, it's a really good show. I think you would like it too, Josh.
George Costanza on Seinfeld. Jason Alexander, 65. A decade older today is Bruce Springsteen at 75. Springsteen will team up with Jerry Seinfeld along with Jon Stewart and Jim Gaffigan for the 18th annual Stand Up for Heroes benefit on Veterans Day. He's going to be doing some comedy.
Oh, wow.
As part of the New York Comedy Festival. And that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
He's very hairy and has a great disposition. Like I said, he loves to hug and he loves to give kisses.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Darnold guns, open man, Jones, touchdown! Darnold will throw, touchdown! Justin Jefferson open, and the Vikings cash in. Shotgun, Darnold looks, throws it, caught, Naylor, touchdown! 5 defensive backs for the Vikings, deep drop for Stroud, step and throw, and it's intercepted. Cameron Bynum with a pick.
As a whole, just felt like pre-snap and post-snap was pretty effective all day long. Flo called a phenomenal game. The scheme, understanding of what we're trying to get done by our players on the field, tackling, keeping the chunks off the tape for the most part. They got some kind of looser plays there in the second half, but so proud of our guys.
Yeah, the fans' reaction meant everything to me. Just not only that, but my entire time here in Minnesota has been amazing with the fans, and they've been great.
Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. We're about to be Eiffel Towered by Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder this morning.
Lovely.
True.
What does that mean?
And I'm all right with that. What's up, Hose?
What does that mean?
I'm really not know?
Yeah, do we need to draw a diagram?
Don't worry about it, Randy. It's a good thing.
Just
get out the Google machine.
Look it up, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. when people
Urban
learn-
Dictionary.
When people learn new things, it's kind of fun.
Look it up, Randy
look
Shaver.
it up.
Now
I want to hear your reaction when you find out what that is.
Yeah. If I look it up
I'm
at
not
work, am I
looking
going to
it
get
up.
banned from?
Right.
Brad Ryder, don't
you
look
should
it up at work. Don't
No.
look at Randy.
Ask one of your kids, and I'm not trying to be dirty.
okay.
I just mean they'll know what that is.
Yeah.
You go ahead and look it up, Randy Shaver. You'll be happy. You will. Both of them at the same time. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder joining us on Mondays and Wednesdays, even on Fridays now and again. All right. Josh's kid was right. Sam Darnold sucks. Josh, tell Randy and Brad and folks who weren't tuned in earlier, Josh taught an important life lesson, I guess maybe you'd say it that way,
I did.
to his son, more importantly, my godson.
I held him accountable yesterday.
Held him accountable.
I had mentioned this before. So once JJ, oh my gosh, I just forgot his last name.
Evans.
No. JJ Evans is somebody different. McCarthy. Once he went down, my son and a couple of his buddies were very upset, talking about how much Sam Darnold sucks.
Yeah.
Season's over. One of the kids cried. One of the kids was crying. He was so upset. And I tried to talk him down, saying, "Hey, just give the guy a chance. Give him one game. I mean, we don't know what's going to go on with JJ. He could stink it up. We don't know.
Yeah,
he's unproven.
He's never proven dick.
Maybe he'll be incredible. Maybe he won't. So
right.
Just wait." So yesterday, after 3 games of seeing what Darnold is capable of, I paused the screen on Darnold's face at the very end of the game, and I made my youngest son apologize to Sam Darnold right there for not giving him a chance. And now pride kept my son he had to think about it for a couple seconds, and I said, can you at least give him this? Can you say you're proud of him for 3 wins? And eventually he caved.
Did he? So he gave him a decent enough apology, and
yeah, it seemed relatively, since it seemed kind of like a Vikings were aware of the situation type of apology.
So he's still a little butthurt that he was wrong.
A little bit, yeah.
And
but he did apologize.
He and his friends were far from alone. And I get it. It's only 3 games in. I mean, they are 3-0 after 3 games. Right. It is only 3 games in. It's a long season. I understand all that. But this is often a lot of fun when these moments come around, when somebody who every swinging D in town was convinced was a steaming pile of feces suddenly gains a little steam and no, I'm not trying to be funny with the feces reference and then steam. You know what I'm saying? When someone comes out of nowhere that everyone had given up on a long time ago, finds some success. It's a good time. Sam Darnold and Vikes are doing very well.
Yeah, it's fun.
He's kind of this year's Baker Mayfield so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit, because everybody threw him out the past year too. And it just kind of, it proves that the talent level with a lot of these quarterbacks in the NFL, the margin is razor thin. If you get them into the right system with the right coaching staff and the right players around them, they can succeed.
Right.
And yes, Randy Shaver.
I was going to say, it doesn't hurt when your offensive line is playing as well as the Vikings' offensive line is playing. I mean, they're giving this guy an opportunity to make plays for the simple fact that they are keeping the defense out of his face. And Justin Jefferson is healthy. That certainly makes a difference. They've got a running game right now that is effective.
A lot of things are working.
And they have a very good defense, at least through the first 3 games. So
everything's working, I should say. Every damn thing.
There's a lot of things that are pointing in the right direction to allow Sam Darnold to be as effective as he's been.
Yeah, because of the defense playing the way they have, he still has not had to play come from behind in a game. He hasn't had to,
hasn't had to win a game for him.
He hasn't had to come. Yeah, exactly. He hasn't had to come back from 10, 14 points down in the second half. And I think that allows the Vikings offense to mix up their play calling and not be so predictable, and that's what's led to the success.
That maybe will be the telling point if this club finds itself in real trouble, and they likely will in a game or 2 in the future.
Sure.
That's probably the true measure of a quarterback. Not to always put it all on the quarterback, but that's usually when a guy really makes a reputation for himself, when he brings a team back out of nowheres and wins the game all on his own. But the Vikings completely pumped whoever the Houston Texans are yesterday at home, 34-7. They got a 3-0 record. Sam Darnold matched his career high with 4 touchdown passes, no turnovers. And that was one of the things we heard about the guy, that he was an interception machine. Hasn't been a problem just yet. No. Vikings defense intercepted C.J. Stroud twice, sacked him 4 times. One dude, Jonathan Greenhard, he had 3 sacks all on his own.
He got him 3 times. That sucks.
That was funny to watch.
Wasn't he a Texan?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, do we get Hawkinson back next week?
Who?
I don't think
Hawkinson.
So.
I don't think it's that quick.
Oh, it's not. I thought it was just.
I think it's middle of the season.
Shoot, it's that long. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a deal what's going on right now.
Right now, they don't need him, Josh, to be honest with you.
I know. I was just thinking how much better it's going to be when he's there.
Yeah. Looks like week 7 they're talking about.
Okay.
Middle of the season.
Probably after the bye week, after they go overseas.
There goes Darnold. He connected with Jefferson, Aaron Jones. Did he do the bank vault?
Nope.
Why didn't he do the bank vault?
I don't know. People are disappointed though. No, he just did like like a weird, I don't know, it looked like he was like wiping sweat off of his helmet or something.
Do you guys know the bank vault yet, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder?
I don't know.
No.
Okay, I guess, when he was
Is that like the Eiffel Tower?
Well, maybe there is something to that, but
did you look
not
it
in
up
this
yet,
case.
Randy, what it means to be Eiffel Towered?
I did not, and I'm not going to.
Why don't you?
Oh, it's not like disgusting or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I will send you some links.
It's something I'm very shocked you don't know about it. My dad even knows what an Eiffel Tower is.
Well,
He's 73.
We'll put it this way. If somebody asks if you'd like to be Eiffel Towered, please say no. We'll give you that then.
Okay.
So here's the deal. Aaron Jones, when he was playing for the Green Bay Packers, he would go along with that stupid Lambeau leap, right? Where he jumps into the first couple of rows of morons. Now he wants to keep that tradition going when he scores at, what do you call that ballpark again? The
US
new
Bank
Metrodome?
Stadium?
When he scores here at home, he, at least the story I read, he was going to jump into the crowd. And so now that they play at US Bank Stadium, he calls it the Bank Vault. Are you following?
Gotcha.
You want to hear the brilliant line, too?
Sure.
He says, Aaron Jones says, the bank is open on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of cute.
There you go.
Oh, come on. You didn't see that coming from like 10 miles away?
I still like the guy. He's kind of fun.
I used to work at banks too. There's some added humor to that.
He used to work at a bank?
No, I used to.
Oh,
so like, haha, yeah.
Oh, so
right.
it's inside stuff that the rest of us wouldn't understand. You
She's
worked
tuned
at a
into bank jokes.
That explains that, right, John?
Non-finance people.
Yeah.
She used to deep finance type material here.
You got to be in the business to understand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
You have to have money to understand.
Okay, so he scored a touchdown. All this noise I heard about the bank vault. He scores a touchdown. He doesn't do the bank vault.
We're getting text saying it was the wrong side of the field. Like it's higher over there. It's like 8 foot the wall. So that would have been quite the vault.
Hey, he'll get his chance on Sunday. They play in Green Bay.
Who do they play next?
They're in Green Bay.
They go to Lambeau.
Yes.
Ooh,
He'll get his chance. Oh, boy.
I hope we just curb stomp them.
What else is going on here? I mean, everything good. Everything good. Will this weekend be a situation where they face their first real serious adversity, is how they call it?
Well, certainly. I mean, you got to go on the road and you got to play there, and that's never easy. I don't know. Is Love back?
He'll
at
be
some
back.
Point?
He'll be back.
Okay.
Yep. And they've won 2 games without him.
So. Right.
Jordan Love will return to play quarterback this Sunday.
Yes, he will.
Oh, my God. Who's the name of the guy that's been operating at that position?
Malik Willis.
And they won yesterday. They beat somebody.
The Titans 30-14.
What you talking about, Willis?
Dude.
And then they get the Jets after that, and Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, disgusting.
In London.
Yeah.
In London.
Yeah,
Impossible
nice
to watch.
9:30 in the morning game.
That will be impossible to watch.
8:30 here, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess the only cool thing about that is nobody can give me a look for drinking a beer that early. The game is on.
They're doing that friggin' London thing again?
Yeah.
The Vikings are involved in that?
The week after this, yeah.
Oh, what a disaster.
8:30.
That's just silly. Silly. So there they go. I mean, they're just floating on friggin' air right now, the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
3 and
as they
friggin'
should.
up.
As they should.
And yes, I get it. The last couple of weeks, we've been getting a lot of these texts whenever we talk about, now I completely forgot the quarterback's name.
Sam
Darnold.
Last week when we were talking about, hey, look at this. Now they're 2-0. They beat San Francisco. We get a lot of texts saying, yes, we know. Josh Dobbs also had people suckered for an hour or so here in town.
Different deal.
It is a different deal.
For 1 week, I think.
I just want to acknowledge, yes, we're getting your texts about Josh Dobbs. We understand the comparison. But there you friggin' go.
I'm ready to be hurt again. Fine.
It will be interesting to see if this is sustained for most, if not all, of the season. His level of play. They signed him to a 1-year deal, and so then, I mean, I know it's probably a little too early for this, but what do you do?
What's the question now?
Well, if he sustains this level of play this season, and
Sam Darnold.
Yes, and they go to the
early
playoffs.
to be talking about.
And they go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he's only signed for 1 year, and they drafted a quarterback.
Yeah.
Fourth or fifth overall? What do you do?
Can I write this date down that Brad has already got us in the playoffs on September 23rd? Good Lord.
Well, Randy Shaver.
Did he swallow the Kool-Aid?
No, I'm asking the question early because
I think the question is way too early, and I think McCarthy is the future of the football team. However, I understand why you're saying it because they've played so well the first 3 weeks, but they've got such a long way to go.
Oh, for sure.
There's so many things that could happen that could go wrong for this team.
But the defense, like I said,
injuries, everything.
If the defense sustains them, they will still win games. They will,
I don't disagree with that, but I think, we're just.
Well, I don't mind playing along.
We're not even to the last week of
I'm
September.
just asking people to play along. Say they go 500.
Brad Ryder. Obviously, Randy Shaver had too many drinks yesterday or something. He doesn't
I didn't. No.
Say they go 500 the rest of the way. They make the playoffs. They're 10-7. What do you do?
No, I'm willing to play along, Brad Ryder. I'm willing to play along. Wasn't there a team?
It's a great luxury.
Wasn't there a team that faced this same situation recently, and they dumped the veteran, despite the success he had, to go with the young feller? Maybe one of you can scan through and try to figure out what I'm talking about. I thought there was a similar situation for a team recently where they said goodbye to a veteran despite. Maybe it'll come to me. Maybe it'll come to me.
It happens all the time because there's always new quarterbacks that come into the league.
Right, but it doesn't happen all the time where the veteran has great success and then they say, sorry, you did a great job, but you're a little too old and we want to build for the future. Maybe it was money also that factored in. What happened yesterday in the league? How come, here's something that grabbed me. The New Orleans Saints scored 47 points or something in their first week and 41 the second week. Yesterday they go and they only score 12. What happened?
Well, they finally played a team that was that had figured some of the things out that they were doing, like shutting down Shaheed.
Shaheed.
I mean, you got to shut down Shaheed.
I don't even know what it means to be Shaheed.
They have a receiver who's had a monster start to the season who didn't do anything yesterday, and Derek Carr was, he was pedestrian.
People were giving Derek Carr credit for, how should I say this, dropping the murder rate in New Orleans.
It's hilarious.
I don't know if I've ever heard an athlete get that kind of accolade before. But Derek Carr and the Saints were whooping so much ass in the first 2 weeks of the season. They beat somebody. They beat another team.
They beat the Cowboys. They had some big monster wins early in the year.
So it says here, their two big monster wins to start the season coincided with an 18-day run in New Orleans without a murder. And that hadn't happened in years, so people were giving Derek Carr credit for dropping the murder rate.
Oh, my gosh.
That's hilarious. Okay, so the Saints finally ran into someone who knew what they were doing.
Well, the Eagles,
That was a close. There was a close game. I think the Saints were ahead going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but offensively and point production wise, it was a much lower scoring game than predicted. Eagles end up winning 15-12. So
the New York Giants won a game.
Yeah, maybe they're not as bad as we thought.
Carolina put 36 points on the board.
That's because of Andy Dalton.
Oh, it wasn't that kid?
No.
It was the pink crayon?
Yeah.
I love the pink crayon.
I think all of the 0-2 teams, not all of them except the Titans, won yesterday. There was 5 or 6 0-2 teams, and almost all of them won yesterday. It shows, again, the parity in the league a little bit.
Denver won a game. A lot of folks didn't think that would happen.
Yeah. Well, they were going to win a game eventually, but they won on the road.
A lot of folks didn't think they'd win a single game.
That's not true. That is not true.
Tonight, Josh mentioned it earlier, there's 2 games tonight for Monday night. They just won't leave us alone. I don't know.
Why do they do that?
Money.
Jacksonville at Buffalo and the Washington Commodores at Cincinnati. Okay, people are thinking that maybe what I was recollecting about a veteran quarterback who brought them great success, and they said, yeah, that was cute and everything, but we're going to go the other direction. A lot of folks are assuming maybe I'm thinking about Footlong Foles. That could be.
Who was?
How about Cliff Keebler? Maybe I'm thinking of Cliff Keebler.
Who was the Chiefs quarterback when Mahomes was a rookie and didn't play?
Smith.
Alex Smith.
They made the playoffs. I think they actually went to the AFC Championship game, and then they dumped him and brought Mahomes in the next.
So you're right. There are a lot of examples. I don't know who I'm thinking of exactly, but Brad, I didn't mind that scenario.
Well, I know it's early,
tough.
but I probably wouldn't have brought it up because of the fact the defense has been playing so well that if they play this well, they're going to keep them in a lot of games and win a lot of games. So
I'm going to go ahead and answer and say, let's say, go along with your scenario. The Vikings make the playoffs. Oh, they just narrowly missed the Super Bowl. Something exciting like that with Sam Darnold at quarterback. I think they still gas him and make him, completely, or make him the backup because everyone's got such a raging hard-on for this kid from Michigan. That's my prediction. They'll go with the kid from Michigan. There was a Dallas Cowboy kicker yesterday who kicked a 65-yard field goal, which was 1 yard short of...
and he cleared it by a mile.
The all-time record.
Cleared it by a mile.
And the guy who owns the record was on the other side of the football field. Josh's favorite athlete, aside from Joey Chestnut, Josh, he's a big fan of Justin Tucker of the Baltimore Ravens.
He's wonderful.
Yep. Tucker has a 66-yarder under his belt. That's the all-time record. The kid from Dallas kicked a 65. And Randy said he cleared it by quite a bit.
He did.
Indoor football.
Brandon Aubrey.
Friggin' indoor football.
Oh, God.
Kickers just can't wait to go to work. They play.
Smell it? Smells like up dog.
What is that?
What's up dog? Nothing much, man. So do you. All right.
So cute.
What else is going on? Okay. I have no idea whether this is a big deal or not. I'm here to ask you people. And we're going all the way back to last Thursday. So hopefully, you still care. Last Thursday, Thursday Night Football, somebody played. It doesn't matter. After the game, comedian Nikki Glazer made some jokes, and everybody hated it. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think she was part of the post-game show.
She was.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah. Well,
I liked it.
You just said made comments after the game.
Yeah, she was officially part of the show.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are probably expecting me to get up here and just roast everyone, but this isn't a roast. You guys didn't sign up for this, so I'm definitely not going to say that Richard Sherman looks like Busta Rhymes on Ozempic. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that Andrew Whitworth looks like Men's Warehouse Shrek, or
I like that one.
Or that Tony Gonzalez looks like who my mom thinks about during one of her long baths.
What's the problem? What did everyone hate so much about it?
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not
Maybe
sure.
it's just her.
Yeah, I never saw any specifics other than people saying, outside saying annoying, or they just didn't think it was funny.
Is this the NFL hard-ons who take it all way too serious?
It's the same people that get upset that they show Taylor Swift on TV.
Yeah, they're just.
Oh,
they're
see, I don't
probably
have a problem
just
with
mad
that.
a woman is funny. One of those kind of things.
This was my first exposure to Nikki Glazer. I thought she came off funny. I mean,
you should watch some of her roasts.
Oh my
she's
gosh,
great.
yeah.
Brutal.
She goes for the jugular.
By brutal, I mean she goes for it.
I mean, let's put it this way, and maybe this is too grand of a stance to take. I don't know. Dennis Miller had a full-time job on Monday Night Football, and we can't handle Nikki Glazer telling 4 jokes after a ball game is over.
They're a little bit different style of comedian.
Yeah, Glazer sounds funny. Yes, I'll agree that they're completely different.
And doesn't take herself way too seriously.
I had to order the Encyclopedia Britannica to look up references he was making.
Yeah, one of them doesn't make references to British politics from the 1600s.
He's obviously an intelligent guy, but there's times I'm like, I got to look that up. I don't get that.
Dennis Miller's obviously a brilliant guy, but let's all be honest. I mean, that was a miserable run where he was on Monday Night Football.
He even got the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Making references that nobody understands. If you ever listen to Dennis Miller or David Lee Roth talk, they have the same mental condition. They can't stop making references that nobody would ever understand. They're very similar personalities if you ever listen to them talk for a long time. Okay. I just wanted to ask if anybody was up in arms about the Nikki Glazer thing, because I saw a couple. Okay.
No.
You're okay. You're going to be
I'm
all right.
okay. Sure.
Good. Bad news. Raheem Mercury Morris is dead.
No.
Yes, Randy.
Yeah,
Shaver.
yesterday.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he died at 77 years old. No cause of death was given in the article that I read. Oh. But a prominent member of those glorious Don Shula-led Miami Dolphin teams from the early 1970s, along with Larry Zonka and Jim Kick.
He was the change of pace running back for the great Miami teams because Kick and Zonka were the starters, and they were pretty much straight-ahead runners, especially Zonka. And Morris was always that speed back to get them to the outside or to catch a pass or two. Gosh darn, that's too bad.
Yeah, it is. He had some great seasons. He was part of the undefeated team in 1972.
Yep.
He did get himself in some trouble after he was done playing football. How long did he go to prison? Or I should say, how long did he stay in prison? He was sentenced to 20 years in 1982 for cocaine trafficking. Can anyone look up how long he sat?
I don't know.
How long did he really sit in the cooler? Jesus. How do you get in trouble for cocaine in Florida in the 80s?
Yeah, really.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got in trouble if you didn't have enough of it on you at any one point.
Yeah, that's what upset people.
They handed cocaine to little kids as they were getting on school buses in Florida in the 80s.
You trick or treat, you get a bag of cocaine.
He must have really screwed up to go to prison for 20 years in Florida in the 80s.
Maybe it was in the Panhandle, not down south. Who knows?
Is it a different vibe up there, Brad Ryder?
Well, isn't it?
I don't know.
It was a little bit more conservative.
I wouldn't know the first thing about such things. How the hell do you? What's your tie to the Panhandle, Florida?
I just know that things are a little bit more liberal down by Miami than they are up north.
Oh, all right. I'll keep that
Brad
in mind.
knows cocaine. That's what this is all about.
I'll keep that in mind when I run for office down there, Brad.
Yeah.
Brad was the Clara City kingpin of cocaine back in the day.
Did you see any cocaine when you were growing up in Clara City?
No.
Booger sugar, they call it, Josh.
Yeah, I've heard that. I never saw cocaine until I started working here. True story.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
For a little while, there was a few people here that they were doing that.
We did some blow back in the day. What's the problem?
They just did it in front of you, Josh?
Yeah.
That's insane, actually.
Nerd! Yeah. We used to do rails off of everything. Compact discs. I once did a rail which was resting on top of another rail.
Man.
Whoa.
Some serious rails.
And I said, "You want to go to war? Okay." P.J. Fleck called the beating the Golden Gophers took from the Iowegians on Saturday. He called it unacceptable, and he said it won't happen again.
Oh, how many times has this guy apologized for games that they've lost?
I mean,
they should have won.
I think I've proven that I'm positive this morning about things, but to say that it's not going to happen again, have you looked at their schedule coming up?
Yeah, pack a lunch.
I mean...
Well, it's not just their schedule coming up, it's their history, too.
Well,
they've had a history of these.
You go to Michigan this week, you don't think it might happen this week, too?
Well, they may not have a chance to blow a lead or, be in the game.
Oh, is that what he was referring to? I thought he was talking about getting beat badly.
I don't know what he was exactly...
they played terrible in the second half. I mean, the first half, the game was, tied? I mean, they were right in the football game. And then the second half, they just melted down.
First and foremost, congratulations to Iowa. Came and took it in the second half. It's a 60-minute game. I told our team, I said, we played for 30 minutes. The job of the head football coach is to get his team to play hard for 60 minutes, and I failed to do that.
I'd have phone sex with P.J. Fleck. I would. He's got like a really he's got a sexy delivery, doesn't he, Josh?
Yeah, it's just smooth,
This is great.
Yeah, I bet he could make it work for you.
Yeah. A listener sent me some quotes from Dennis Miller when he was working on Monday Night Football. Do you want a little piece of this?
Sure.
This is great.
Yeah,
hey,
sure.
And I'm not trying my hardest to imitate the guy. I have a slight memory of how he was very funny in Joe Dirt. Anyway, it's not the Vatican, babe. But then again, the Pope doesn't have to go across the middle on a guy like Ronnie Lott. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get back to the action now. Listen, babe. That's great. All right, so yeah, Golden Gophers got pumped. They had a great first half. I didn't see it. I was off doing something else, but they just got absolutely slammed in the second half. They got outgained 227 yards to 66 in the second half.
And that's by an Iowa team that has historically in the last few years struggled offensively to do much of anything.
Yeah, they're not exactly a juggernaut on offense. 9 days out of 10, are they?
Yeah, what was the over-under when they played last year? Was it like 9? Damn near.
Yeah.
No.
I wasn't that low.
It was brutal. It was like
comically low.
It was like 36, 37. And I'm sure the over-under this week was under 40. I'm guessing. So it's just a very disappointing loss. I mean, just super disappointing.
Yeah. Next up, they play the University of Michigan on the road.
Which, by the way, Michigan is not that good. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. But they're not like last year. I mean, they've had losses of players and obviously the coaching staff changeover, and they are not the same Michigan team as they were a year ago.
But I still think they're a little better than Iowa.
Oh, yeah. They're a little bit better than Iowa. Sure.
Here's another Dennis Miller quote for you. You know the problem, babe? With the gene pool, there's no lifeguard. Okay, it's 3rd and 10 for the Broncos.
That's awful.
3rd and 10. They're on the 34-yard line. It's bringing back great memories. Michigan's not that good, you say?
No, I'm saying that they're good, but they're not the juggernaut that they were a year ago.
Okay. Oh, by the way, hey, is Wapple awake over there?
Yeah. Sir. Yeah.
Wapple, did you know, while we're talking about Dennis Miller, do you know who one of his childhood friends was? I'll give you a hint. He won 2 gold medals with a broken freaking neck.
No way, Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle grew up in the same neighborhood as Dennis Miller.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I read that in Kurt Angle's biography, which was called It's True, It's Damn True.
Nice.
Yeah, look that up.
Did you also see Seth Rollins this weekend?
No.
He got tossed by T.Y. Hilton on a field at a football game.
I'm sorry, I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Seth Rollins,
the wrestler.
Yeah, he was tossed on the field by T.Y. Hilton.
Tossed on the field? Who is T.Y. Hilton?
He used to be a receiver.
Receiver for the
That
Colts.
was a confusing video for
Yeah,
me,
it was.
Waffle, because I didn't realize that was a wrestler, and I had no idea what was going on. I thought those two were about to box.
So you're saying this was like a cute gimmick at halftime or something?
No, it was during the game. I don't think it was halftime, but then like a security guard had to run over and tell him to get off the field.
A player brought Seth Rollins onto the field.
Like T.Y. Hilton was in the stands with him and then kind of like threw him out there on the field, out of the stands.
Okay.
They were in like the very first row.
T.Y. Hilton used to play football.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
He used to play football. Total disaster for the Twins yesterday in Boston.
Oh, boy.
It was total disaster.
Oh.
They lost 8-1, and then they lost 9-3. They played a doubleheader. First game they lost 8-1, then they lost 9-3.
Yeah. Yep. This is bad.
Season.
Now they are on the outside looking in with 6 games to go.
I mean, the only saving grace is that the Royals struggled in San Francisco over the weekend, or against San Francisco, and, fell back a little bit in that chase. But, I mean, the Twins are still sitting right there. They just need to have a big week. I mean, they just have to win baseball games and hope some things happen. But, man, if you would have said 2 weeks ago this is what would happen in that 2-week stretch, I don't know if there were too many people that thought that they would fall completely out of the of being one of the wild card teams.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago I was thinking, well, the division's probably out of reach at this point, but we're guaranteed a wild card spot.
All they had to do was play 500 baseball. I mean, that's all they had to do.
There's two of the spots are completely up for grabs, and you've got 4 teams within 2 games of it right now. So.
Yeah, the Mariners are only game back of the Twins now.
They're 2 back. Yeah, Detroit.
6 games to play.
6 to play. It's this week, and that's it.
Yeah.
They start a series tomorrow with the Miami Marlins here at home. They wrap up at home. They got Miami. Tampa
Miami
Bay's
and Baltimore, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Tampa Bay's at Detroit coming up tomorrow. Kansas City's at Washington. I don't know what Seattle's doing, but it's a mess.
They are at Houston tonight.
Oh, speaking of Houston, one of our listeners calls the University of Michigan football team the Ann Arbor Astros
because they cheat.
Because they cheat. Yeah. Boy, it doesn't look good for the Twins. By God,
Well,
it does not. It doesn't look good.
Well, that's not. I mean, again, if they were 3 games back, I would say it doesn't look good. I mean, they're not in the position they'd want to be in, but they're only a game out, and they hold the tiebreaker on both.
Oh my God, Randy, you're being beaten to death. Are you okay?
Yeah, sounds like
No.
clubbing him.
No, Randy Shaver, you're right. Everything you're saying is right. I'm talking about the big picture. I'm not talking about their chances of making the playoffs. I'm talking about the big. It does not look like this season will end well in any way, shape, or form. That's what I meant by that.
I get that, but the most important thing right now is for them to make the playoffs. If they can just make the playoffs, anything can happen.
Anything can friggin' happen.
But I mean, I'm not counting them out just yet. They have obviously yesterday was super disappointing, but I mean, Tigers in Kansas City can easily have issues down the stretch here where the Twins can catch them. So
I'm saying they've got to go 4-2 this week.
4-2.
Well, they may not even have to do that in order to get in.
But to be safe, they've got to go. They got to win both of these series, I think.
What does it say here? The Cleveland Guardians clinch the division.
Yes. Well, you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, well, I'm just letting you know that was Saturday.
Yeah.
They're going back to the playoffs for the first time since 20+22. They got a rookie manager over there, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Stevie Vogt, rookie manager. The Chicago White Sox have tied.
Can you imagine being a Tigers fan over the month of September?
They got to be going crazy.
Yeah, it must be awesome.
That just must be insanely fun when they thought for sure at the trading deadline they were a seller. They were talking about trading Tarek Skubal. That's how much of a seller they were.
My wife grew up in Michigan. My father-in-law is a huge Tigers fan, and he's going crazy right now.
I just can't imagine the happiness by Tiger fans right now because there's no way they thought they would be in this position right now. No way.
We experienced something similar. What year was it, Josh? We had everyone in town saying we had a slogan going, and now I can't recall what it was. But the Twins were, 4 games out with 9 to play. Remember when they clinched?
Yep.
Final day of the season, Kansas City beat somebody.
2006. Everybody watched it on the field. They stayed and watched it on the jumbotron, and they clinched the division.
Who did the Twins closed out at home with somebody, and then we stayed at the ball game and watched the Royals game on the big screen. That was a riot. So Tigers fans are having a friggin' riot.
Yeah,
I remember that game because I was there as an intern in the press box, and then got doused with champagne afterwards trying to get audio from the guys.
That's cool.
It was a lot of fun.
All right, you ready for this? 651-989-9393. Right. The Tigers are playing tonight. I never miss a game. What movie? 651-989-9393. The first one to get that correct, I'm going to be wildly impressed by. Again, the quote. The Tigers are playing tonight. I never miss a game. What movie? I bet Josh knows.
I think I do, yeah.
Okay.
When can I jump in?
I'll let you know. All right. Appreciate your interest. The Chicago White Sox have tied the all-time record for losses in a season.
Yep.
At least the post-1900 record.
Yep.
They're at 120.
Yep.
I don't have in front of me. Do they play tonight?
They play tomorrow against the Angels.
Okay.
And then the Angels are terrible, obviously. And then they get the Tigers.
Stop it, Randy.
Did you know they close out against the Tigers?
I've heard that before.
Please.
I didn't know that.
Please.
That's some good research.
Yes.
So many of you. God, I love our listening audience. So many of you are texting in right now with the correct answer. What movie? Tigers are playing tonight. Never miss a game. RoboCop.
My favorite guess was Jackass 2.
Has everyone here seen RoboCop?
Yep.
Yep.
No.
Oh, man. It's so good.
RoboCop is the correct answer, and thank you so much. Makes me feel good.
Although what happened to Peter Weller when he became RoboCop, that has disturbed
They were
me
rough on the guy.
my entire life. I think I was too young to watch that.
Oh, I was just going to say, Josh, I saw it way too young, and it damaged me for a while.
That quote about the Tigers was made by the bad guy in that movie, a fellow by the name of Clarence Boddicker.
When I saw, Kurtwood Smith, the actor, when I saw him on That 70s Show, I still got the chills thinking about what he did to RoboCop back in the day.
Come with me or there will be trouble. What's this Shohei kid up to now? 52 home runs, 52 stolen bases. Did he get, am I correct?
Payoff pitch. Smacked in the air, center field. Shohei can't be stopped.
Yep, there's 52.
Ohtani's on the move. 52.
Gonna go. You go first move.
Another 52.
This friggin' guy, Randy Shaver.
He's amazing. We are watching maybe the greatest baseball player to play in 30 years.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Be interesting to see if he pitches next year, if he's going to try to pitch.
There's some talk, Brad, that he might be ready to pitch in the postseason.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There is some conversation that he might be able to throw a little bit in the postseason.
What if he hurts himself?
Just like Rogers.
Oh, God, he's out for the playoffs.
There's something to be said for, he's having the kind of offensive season he's having because he hasn't had to pitch.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Like he's been able to put up these kind of numbers. Exactly. He hasn't had to worry about pitching, too.
Wow, I never thought of it this way. Listen to this, Cubby. Listener texted in and says, RoboCop. That movie's full of tragedy. Dude died, and he still had to go to work.
I never considered that all these years later.
Man, that has never crossed my mind. What a friggin' drag. No, I'm dead. I got to check in and go to work. I'm dead.
Yeah, I was happy that he came back. Turns out I shouldn't have been.
Shohei
Poor
Ohtani,
guy.
he's lost his friggin' mind. The Cincinnati Reds fired their manager with 5 games left to go in the season, a fellow by the name of David Bell.
Yeah, that's as they should. There was a lot of people thought the Reds would be pretty good this year.
The Minnesota Lynx played Game 1 of the 2024 playoff yesterday and beat Phoenix by a handful of points, so they lead that best-of-3 playoff series. They'll play again. What is it? What day is it today?
Today's Monday.
They'll play in 2 nights, Wednesday over there at Target Center again. Nafisa Collier, who came second in the WNBA MVP voting, she scored 38 points in that game yesterday. The MVP was named, I think, last week. I think we talked about it.
Yep, Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson. Caitlin Clark gets Rookie of the Year. Yep. I thought it should have been
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark and her club, the Indiana Fevers, are in the playoff. Does anyone know what the hell happened to these lacrosse players that a pile of them almost died?
Yeah.
No.
All right. Tufts University, Tufts.
I've been there.
What the? Who?
Why?
Why?
For what purpose?
My good friend of mine ran cross country there on scholarship. So I've been a part of Tufts a few times.
Where is it?
It's in Boston or Massachusetts.
You went all the way to Boston to go to a college beer party?
Yeah.
Dude, fun.
Was this a guy or a girl?
Guy.
Okay.
Josh could have thrown you one of those at North Hennepin.
Easily.
Yeah. Josh had a group at North Hennepin that could have thrown you a good beer party. A guy gets on an airplane and goes to Boston. Tufts University. It's like a D2, D3 type of a setup. Their lacrosse team is excellent. They win championships up and down, from what I understand. But a former player at that school came back. This former player had completed Navy SEAL training and decides maybe the lacrosse players could use that training to get better than they already are at lacrosse. And a pile of them ended up in the hospital damn near dead because of a rare muscle injury that they all caught while Navy SEAL training for lacrosse. Really scary stuff. I don't fully understand what happened to them.
That's crazy.
Dozens of them went to the hospital. 5 of them, from what I understand, are still there.
That's how hard is the workout? Because it was only 45 minutes, but like those guys are in shape.
That's like an infamously tough program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Ashley, I don't think...
By that I mean with the SEALs, not Tufts.
Let's not overstate how good a shape D3 lacrosse players might be in.
I was just thinking about some workout classes people take. They're like an hour and a half long, and it's just nonstop movement.
I'm not really too worried, Josh, if I get on a treadmill and next to me is a D3 lacrosse player. I think I can hold my own for a little while, but...
Yeah, that BUD/S training, infamously difficult.
The SEAL training? Mm-hmm. I mean, it'll just... Yeah, it's damn near killed a few of these kids, and I hope everything turns out all right. The only knowledge I have of Navy SEAL training was when I saw that topless Demi Moore movie, whatever that was called.
Striptease?
No. Good guess. No, it was called She's Trying Out for the Navy. What the hell was that?
Right, that G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane, yeah.
Yes.
She wasn't striptease and she was topless.
Private Benjamin? That's all I know. And there's an investigation underway. I mean, this kid who came back to the school to teach him Navy SEAL stuff, I mean, I bet he feels horrible.
Sure.
He must have... he goes home from training him and he thinks, I'm going to help this club win a title. Next thing you know, his phone rings. Everyone's in the hospital. What have you done?
Hope he's got a good lawyer, too.
Oh, no. Brad Ryder. I didn't think about that. Someone wants to know, someone texted in to ask if I'm talking about SEAL training. How come I'm not using the voice of Jesse Ventura? I was a Navy SEAL. Is what he used to say a lot, didn't he, John?
He did. And he was.
I've hunted man.
And he did.
Another famous quote. What else did he say? We shocked the world.
We shocked the world.
We shocked the world.
Well, remember he promised he'd take a jet ski down to Mexico?
I'm going to... Yes, I do.
What?
He's going to take a jet ski to Mexico.
I remember when he was planning on wet biking his way to Mexico. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, my gosh.
He was upset about something politically, right?
Yeah, I can't... He hated the media jackals.
The media. Get on my skidoo. Go all the way down to Matzalan.
Skidoo.
Next thing I know, I'm in Matzalan. He was a pimp. All right. I forgot about his Navy SEAL connections. Next time I'll be better prepared. Oh, man, I got to get ready for 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. I'm going to be cooked tomorrow.
You are going to be
I hope you have picture-in-picture.
Oh, I haven't figured that out yet.
Or picture-in-picture because you want to catch the Manning cast too, right?
Oh, I have to.
I can't get enough of the Mannings. So there you go. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, you guys did well. Anything else on your mind you want to share with us this morning as I try to control my gas over here?
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
No, you covered it all.
Yeah, all right.
Including your gas.
Yes.
It creeps up on me. That friggin' I drink so much of that Gatorade. Brad Ryder, I love your scenarios. I love your look into the crystal ball. Don't take any hard feelings away from the way Randy Shaver treated you.
I'm not. I thought about it yesterday, and I'm sure most people aren't thinking about it, but
Now
I bring it up.
Yeah, you kind of got bullied there a little bit, Brad.
Folks were checking in, backing you up, Brad.
It's funny. Someone texted in and said
3 games in.
Well, okay, so I'm not saying they're going to go 15-2, but like I said, if they go 500, they're from here on out, they're in the playoffs. So
Okay,
he's right.
Well,
he's right.
But I mean, we're still that's 14 weweeks away. I mean,
Randy's
there's
upset
so many
because
things that can happen.
there's plenty of things that can happen, but I enjoyed it.
Of course you did. Jesus.
there are
texted in, okay.
other people who probably think they're going to go 14-3, and I am not one of them. But
if you're just tuning in, Brad Ryder earlier said, okay, what happens if the Vikings make the playoffs with Sam Darnold And then
on a 1-year contract.
On a 1-year contract. And after the season, here they've got this smart mouth kid from Michigan waiting in the wing. What do they do, right? What do they do? That was the scenario. Now, someone texted in and said they found your scenario very interesting. And they also said, if Sam Darnold somehow wins a Super Bowl with the Minnesota Vikings, they're going to...
See, I didn't go there.
Just let them finish, Randy Shaver. He said they'll name a county after the son of a bitch.
Heck yeah.
They will.
Yep.
Dakota County will become Darnold County.
And Josh will be a proud resident.
Is that where you live, Josh?
I do.
We got to get going. Thanks, Brad and Randy.
All right.
We'll be back with more here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Half-Assed Morning Show. You may look like a bum, but you got a lot of talent.
On 93X.
Oh, I hear you. By God, I do. What a great crowd we have this morning. Great crowd for a Monday. It's 8:31. Thank you for listening to the Half-Assed Morning Show. Cubby, you're looking good this morning.
Well, that's very nice of you to say.
You doing something different? Are you doing something different?
Not at all.
You doing like a lower body workout or anything?
Nothing.
You look great.
I've been skipping as much as I can. Maybe that's it. I'm just happy you're not doing that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we got a great crowd. Let me ask Wapple, Dana, Ashley a question real quick. Do things get busy for you during the week?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the week.
Depends on the week. Sometimes it's not so bad. Dana, busy? You got a busy week?
Yeah, I got a busy week sometimes.
Ashley, is it busy for you? Life gets busy?
Same as them every now and then.
Okay. It says right here, bragging or talking, either one. Bragging or talking about how busy you are makes people think you're an idiot.
Oh, what?
You know,
that's kind of harsh.
Why?
I struggle with that sometimes because when somebody asks, "Oh, what'd you do yesterday?" Sometimes I just will dumb it down because I'm afraid if I say I was busy, I'd come across like a douchebag or somebody doesn't really care. But I have trouble not being honest when somebody asks a question.
It's funny. There is a fine line when you're talking about everything you've got in front of you for any given day, or how was your week? And you want to answer honestly, but there is a fine line there. I think it's a little harsh to say that it makes people sound like an idiot. But
if you could tell they're bragging about it, like, hey, I'm so much better than you are because I had all this going on.
Yes, there is a fine line, and usually it's all in the delivery. You know, if you told me you have if you sat here right now and told me how busy a week you had last week, I know you. I know that the way you deliver it, you're not sounding like bragging, like, well, here's everything that I have to do. Here's everything that I'm relied on for. I know you know how to deliver that. Some people do not. So there is that fine line where it's not so much bitching. We can tolerate a little bitching now and again. It's the bragging vibe that'll turn people off. Scientific research came up with that. Talking about how busy you are makes people think you're a damned idiot.
Now, Wapple, you recently became our new night guy as well as your duties here on the morning show, so you're going to be a little more busy, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're going to complain about it?
Yeah, I'll be thinking about it.
Good.
Hell yeah, you're thinking about it.
We're all ready, and we're here for you.
Yep. I'm listening.
We're so supportive of you picking up this gig, and I know you're excited about it.
I'm confused by this.
That we're not going to listen whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, if you sent me the raw audio of you maybe doing some breaks, if you pull the audio, like I might click on that MP3, but I don't think I'm going to tune in.
I want to hear
that. He has a filter. He has a filter when your emails come in, they go immediately to the deleted items.
Just not even to the spam folder, just deleted.
Like I said, I'm confused by this. Wapple's going to be working for this program, of course, and then also doing nights here at 93X from 7 to midnight. Here's a guy who's been whining up and down the halls for years about getting a raise, and instead they just handed him more to do.
Here you go.
I'm interested in the screw-ups. I'll be listening for your screw-ups.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Because Wapple screw-ups are some of the finest that radio can provide.
They are.
I know. I was talking to the boss about this, and he's like, so how do you feel? And I'm like, well, kind of nervous, but not really, because I remember my first time running the best ofs. Oh, boy, was it brutal.
Nobody listens to those either, though. No one listens to those either.
I have nothing to worry about.
It's been a while since you've had to do those, though. So do you think maybe you're out of practice?
Not with that, no.
See, here's the thing.
But doing this is a totally different element than morning show.
I always thought, doing this, it's kind of like bumper pool or bumper cars, where you think you're going in one direction, somebody knocks you on your ass, and you got to try and recover, right? Mm-hmm. And you're also just waiting here to get your balls busted so there's more nerves.
Yep.
You're going to be, it's just you.
Just me.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want.
You're going to have an idea, hopefully.
Until the boss tells me not to do it.
Yeah, until those phone calls come in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
Your new responsibilities around here, Wapple, remind me of that old Jerry Reed song called She Got the Gold Mine, I Got the Shaft. When Jerry says, paying child support and alimony. She gets child support and alimony. I'm working 2 jobs and eating bologna.
Oh, Wapple, you know why we can't listen tonight? Far too busy. Oh, so much going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 football games going on. Darn it.
All right, let's get back to this. Talking about how busy you are makes people think you're an idiot, and it's all in the delivery, like we covered already. Almost everyone wishes they had more time in the day, and yet we all know people who are constantly complaining about how busy they are. When this subject fell in front of me, there was one dude that entered my mind, Josh, and I bet it's the same dude that would enter yours.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
I think I know exactly.
Friendly, wonderful guy. Friendly, wonderful guy. Really. It's just he had this personality quirk where when you said, "Hey man, how's it going?" or "Hey man, how you doing?" the first thing, and I'm talking, this guy batted 1,000 on this. The first thing out of his yap was a rundown of everything he has done this week for work and has yet to be done. He just couldn't help it.
I saw him have a busy off with another guy, and it went back and forth where somebody, and then I got to do this to see who was amongst the 2 of them the most busy person that week.
And that's where it gets to be annoying, and that's where I think people are going to assume you to be a moron because you just can't stop with the hard-on contest over who works harder than the other. That stuff does drive me nuts. We get it. You've got a job. Everybody's got one. Everyone's got their own friggin' problems. And I think that's where people annoyed. I should say that's when people get annoyed is, look, we don't want to hear your problems for too long because we got our own. It's normal to vent, that kind of stuff, but some folks take it too far. Stress bragging is a phrase that's dumped into this article.
It always what I think of is when I've talked to somebody about something that's stressful for me, and they go, "Oh, you think you've got it bad," and then they talk about their life. I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, it's that.
You're so much worse.
Like I said, it's like an erection contest.
Yeah, it's weird.
We love. I shouldn't say we. Some folks just love to let you know that they've just got. Work-related specifically, that they've just got it so much harder than you do. Well, what do you want? A friggin' cookie? You signed on the damn line to do this job. You're getting paid a few bucks. It's not my problem.
We're too busy to worry about what you got going on. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'll show you busy.
The study here that notes if you tell people how busy you are, it turns you into an idiot or makes you appear to be an idiot. This study found that stress bragging can be negative for work culture because it increases intensity and stress levels for everyone in the office. If you could hang a name on our work culture, Josh, what would it be?
Defeated. It's actually pretty good.
Just on this building in general, and maybe even the industry, broke. And I don't mean broke in, I just mean financially.
Where'd all the money go?
I don't know. It's disappeared.
Defeated is the word you'd use, Dana? Explain yourself.
Just everybody walks around pretty defeated around here.
Oh, yeah? I don't get that vibe.
I don't really necessarily
I don't
either.
get that vibe at all.
I mean, you certainly do. Yeah, you definitely do. There's a few, people that always have a dark cloud. But that's any job, right?
Any job.
Yeah, I don't know about defeated. I think a lot of us are too dumb to be defeated,
To not realize the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, we're dumb enough to have hope still.
If you were going to base it on arbitrary metrics like ratings or income and stuff like that, maybe somebody could be considered defeated because those numbers are a lot lower than you might expect.
Some people in this building, not this show. Wapple said. But that's the way guys talk when they take 2 gigs in one building. They start to get an attitude and they say things like that.
Yep.
Because what corporate said? Not enough Wapple.
They said, we need more of this guy. He sold T-shirts. Let's get him on more.
That's right.
Oh, here's Candy Sheezes. See, this isn't right. On the topic of, work, stress, everybody's busy. You got this, you got that. Everyone's got their own problems. So Candy Sheezes says she works from home doing a desk job. Her husband is a plumber, so I guess he plumbs. What movie? Weird Science. She works a desk job at home. Her husband is a plumber, and she gets told every day by her husband that she has no right to be tired.
Oh, my gosh, I hate that.
You don't have it. What made you tired? Sitting at that desk all day? I'm out plumbing.
I've been guilty of saying something along those lines, like to my boyfriend when he's like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, oh, really? What time did you wake up today? And then I'm like, sorry. I'm like, yeah, take a nap. I get it. Yeah.
Was that after your 4-hour afternoon nap that you told us you have?
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, what'd you do? Take a sleep in the middle of the day? It's not a nap.
Take a sleep? What are you talking about?
He's like, you're going to bed in the middle of the day. You're not taking a nap. He said a nap isn't 4 hours long.
Oh, is he a sleep Nazi?
No. He's just makes fun of me, humbles me.
A nap is however the hell you...
That's what family's for.
Family will humble you?
Yeah, that's what family's for, humbling you.
A nap is however the hell long you want it to be.
Thank you.
There's an acid rock show coming to town, everybody. You want to get the text lines cooking, Wapple? Or your name is Josh?
Yeah.
Well, Ollie is, I guess, but I was directly speaking to Josh, no offense. Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text darkness to 651-989-9393. Hey, this is happening this week. You'll get a chance if you text in darkness to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win tickets to the 93X family reunion featuring Godsmack with Chevelle, Nothing More, Wage War, Sleep Theory. Jesus, how long do they expect us to be there?
It's going to be a long one.
And you're going to be there, Walt.
Yeah.
You're Mr. Busy this week.
Oh, it's so busy.
It's this Thursday at XL
my
Energy.
schedule's so busy.
It is.
This Thursday, XL Energy Center. And the prize sponsored by Nicolay Law.
Hey, your buddies.
We're bros. We're pretty tight. Accident and injury lawyers. Nicolay Law Ski. Good luck. That ought to be a hell of a show. I've seen Godsmack once or twice. You guys ever watch that band in concert?
I have.
Yeah.
I've seen
Chevelle's
Chevelle.
great.
Yep.
Nothing More. Absolutely love him. Johnny Hawkins. God, he's hot.
Is that the lead singer?
Yeah. Yep.
You know what? Has there ever been a Johnny that's been unattractive? I think if you're a Johnny, you're probably pretty good looking.
I have an answer, but if I say it out loud into the microphone, there's a chance we get some feedback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo was cool.
Is it a nickname?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a nickname. It's inside stuff.
Okay.
You folks in the other studio wouldn't understand. You don't work the same days and commiserate with the same people that Josh and I do.
All right. Okay. That's one that should have come to mind. You're right. I strike that from the record.
Well, let's name the hot Johnnies.
Well, there's the guy that does the one thing.
Depp.
Yep, Johnny Depp. That's the one I was
Chicks
thinking
love
of.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Bravo was hot.
Johnny Bravo, as portrayed by Barry Williams.
Come on, do the monkey with me.
Also portrayed by Greg Brady. Is that what you're talking about? The Brady Bunch?
No, it was the cartoon.
Never saw it.
Cartoon Johnny Bravo. Come on, pretty lady. Do the monkey with me.
I don't know what you just said, but I enjoyed it.
This is the kind of thing that you'll find nights on 93X, 7 to midnight, starring Wapple.
I was talking about when Greg Brady became Johnny Bravo on an old episode of the Brady Bunch where he was going to be a rock star. Clowns never laughed before. Beanstalks never grew.
What about Johnny Carson? He was a handsome fella, wouldn't you say? Oh, you don't think he was handsome?
No. He kind of irritated me for the most part.
Well, is that clouding your vision of his...
Yeah, I suppose. It's clouding my vision of his aesthetics.
Where do you put Johnny Unitas on there?
Well, manly man.
Yeah, chiseled.
There's something
cool
about
haircut. He had that cool flat top haircut his whole life.
Johnny Knoxville?
I don't find him attractive at all.
I think he's a good-looking dude.
He's a decent looking.
Of course you do. You used to watch those shows where they'd put M80s up their butts and run around covered in turds. We could say anything about all of the members.
Wasn't Johnny Mathis a good-looking guy?
Yes, he was. You're doing a fine job so far on our
Johnny Lawrence?
Johnny
Who's
Lawrence?
Johnny Lawrence?
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
We're talking about real people.
Yeah,
now.
these are... Okay, yeah.
You're doing a good job here in the Hot Johnny survey, though, Josh. Give me one more before we take a break.
That's all I can think of. People...
Johnny Cash?
He had a look to him.
Yeah, sure.
there's something about him.
He had a look, I suppose.
You can't say Johnny Stamos. Look at
That's cheating.
you can't do that.
Johnny Stamos, Johnny Bon Jovi. No, they didn't go by that.
Those don't count. Johnny Sins. Isn't that the local porn star?
Oh, I didn't know he was local. I know he's a porn star.
Who's the one we had in studio that was a guy?
I don't remember ever having a male porn star in studio. Johnny Football, otherwise known as Johnny Manziel.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Ringo. You look like someone just walked on your grave. Okay, he was a character, not a real... Or maybe he was a real person in the 1800s. We got to take a break.
Sorry, one text here.
What's that?
This is kind of like Candy Sheezes. I work from home, this person says, at a desk job, as well as my husband constantly tells me I don't get anything done around the house all day. I work full-time. I have a 4-year-old that I take care of as well. And then she goes on to say, okay, jack off.
Yeah.
Oh. She's pretty busy.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, she works harder than he does.
Oh, you're even going to throw that out.
Yep.
Yeah, you're starting trouble.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Nobody likes a know-it-all who sits around talking about their genitalia.
On 93X.
Yeah, we're wrapping her up here on the damn program. We hope everybody has a lights out Monday. And we thank you for listening. Should we, Josh, close this nightmare out with a heartwarming story that is sure to give you a good feeling deep in your blackened, hateful soul?
I love that kind of thing, yeah.
The fisherman and the cat. Did everyone hear the story of the fisherman and the cat?
Yes.
No.
A fisherman went out and he caught a cat, and he cleaned it, and he served it with campfire potatoes or whatever.
I don't think you read that correctly.
A dude was out fishing, summers. I had the story in front of me and I threw it away. I mean, we probably don't need specifics unless we want to give the guy credit for being a nice guy. A guy was out fishing. It sounded like maybe he was sitting down in one of those kayaks or some kind of funny operation like that, right? And he hears meowing in the distance. And he thought, well, I don't know, must be he's out early morning fishing. There's some cat in the neighborhood that didn't get let inside last time. Next thing you know, there's a cat, jumps in the water, and it's swimming out to his kayak. Number one, a swimming cat. Hilarious.
Yeah, pretty cool.
You ever seen a swimming cat?
I've heard they don't like to swim.
I've seen a wet cat, and that's something to see.
Oh, you never seen a swimming cat?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you got to see this because their eyes are as big as a planet.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they look really horrified by what they're doing. But yet some of them have the balls just to straight up swim. Anyway, so now a cat is swimming towards him as he's fishing, and the cat jumps up into the kayak with him, and they spent the rest of the day fishing together. The cat did not want to leave his side. It was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes pets get very dependent, clingy.
Yeah,
the
sure.
cat is just clinging to... And he kind of figured, well, what the hell, So then at the end of the day, still the cat won't leave his side, and he decides to up and take it home, and now they're best friends that have ever been.
You've matured.
That's wonderful.
You really have. I'm surprised you gave this guy any credit. Do you remember in the story where it said he's from?
No.
Maple Lake.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
you still
okay.
brought it up.
So he obviously went back to a very unhappy home, back to Maple Lake.
And they named the cat Fisher.
Named the cat Fisher.
Pretty cute, huh?
That is cute.
What do you think about all that?
That's adorable.
I'd forgotten the Maple Lake part. And now they named like Josh said, they named the cat Fisher, and his wife said somewhere, where did we read this? Was this in the paper? His wife said this was it was a fateful experience. They were meant to be together. This is more than just a man and a cat. This is it. So it's
a nice bond.
Inspiring.
If you want, it's Channel 9's website.
Okay.
If you're interested.
I threw it away. I don't know what
Checking
happened.
that out.
The Fisherman and the Cat. Look it up. Channel 9's.
Christina said, happy 8th birthday to her daughter, Marina. Happy birthday to Fertilize the World, Jesus. And show your boobs. Win a balloon, Jesus. Text in a happy anniversary to his brother and brother's wife. Have a great Monday. And don't forget, tonight, starting at 7 p.m., Wapple's taking over the night show.
The Muppet Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.